So that being said, so let's talk about what we need to do tonight. So, because again, it's been a little bit since we've played this cool game. Currently, we are standing in front of, actually, let's just check the map. We're standing in front of Macamentaine. Macamentaine. Yes, that's how I pronounce that, probably. Because, well, actually, I don't know why we have it on the map, but we have it on the map. I suspect there'll be an Ayleid statue here, a relic, that is, that Umbacano will want. Same with Malada. Actually, Malada is something else. Malada is something else because that will be for cleansing of the High Fane, I think is what that quest is called. Also for Umbacano, but that's a special request. So we got that. And we also have Thundercliff Watch. I'm wondering if I should not do this one tonight because this one might be more involved. But that is also kind of in the same general region. Thundercliff Watch, the reason I'm a little bit hesitant to like commit to that tonight is because that sounds like the beginning of like something big. Something big and more elaborate than just like a single dungeon. So yeah, cleansing of the High Fane. So the quest is called Nothing You Can Possess. That's the one that has us go into Malada. But let's see, which one was it? It'd be down here. Maroon's Razor. Oh, that's right, Maroon's Razor. This does ring a bell. Okay, never mind. Maybe I should knock this out fairly soon because I think Maroon's Razor would be a good artifact to acquire. Yeah, the Ruins of Thundercliff Watch is leading us to a lost city. So if it's like a lost city, again, that to me sounds like not just a one and done dungeon. That sounds like something big. So yeah, so we might try that tonight. And then of course horse armor, the most important of all DLC. You know what? Actually, we did get a new horse. We got the horse from the Dark Brotherhood. Maybe we should kit this lad up in some fancy armor. Maybe that would help us keep the horse alive, because keeping horses alive in this game can be a bit tricky in my experience. Limited experience, admittedly. So yeah, so the plan for the night is definitely hit up Macamentaine, definitely hit up Malada, and then afterwards Thundercliff Watch. And if by some stroke of fate we're able to wrap that up before it gets too late, then we also have Leaf Rot Cave. That's the actual Dark Brotherhood quest that we're on. But in my infinite wisdom, determined that I wanted to knock out as many things around here as possible, because we've never been this far east before, at least not this far down the map. So yeah, Lake Canalis and the Panther River, like we've never been around here before. So this is like an opportunity to explore uncharted territory. You can see we've explored out here a whole lot. You can see all the art, all the what's the word? All the landmarks we visited. But further south, not so much. A decent bit, but not nearly as much, obviously. So anyway, let's jump into here. One thing I am curious, we do need things for the Fighters Guild. Specifically, there's a person that needs ectoplasm. We need one more ectoplasm for part of a Fighters Guild quest. I know what you're thinking, Alex. That sounds like a Mages Guild thing. Ectoplasm, what the hell? But yeah, that's to prove our worth to a person. I want to say in Shadenhall, or maybe Leowyn. One of those. We need to prove to her that we're a virtuous person. We're able to kill undead and whatnot. And if we're able to prove ourselves, then she will give more tasks to the local Fighters Guild chapter. Buffalo pretzel bites. Oh, really? Because that sounds nice. I enjoy spicy buffalo things, and I enjoy pretzels. Sounds like it would otherwise be a match made in heaven. There's a chain of what would I call it? It's like it's like a pretzel shop. It's like there's a chain of pretzel shops in the Midwest that is mostly it's like the fast food of pretzels, honestly, if that makes sense. A lot of it is, you know, pretty fried and pretty unhealthy and very delicious. It's called Auntie Annie's, Auntie Annie's, I think, or Auntie Anne's. Crap, actually, yeah. What's the name? I think it's Auntie Anne's or Auntie Anne's, depending on your pronunciation. Yeah, Auntie Anne's or Auntie's Anne's. And they're very good. They are very good, but again, they're very unhealthy. Most undoubtedly very fried. and their sauces are nice, but like the pretzels themselves are, you know, always crunchy and crisp. And there's like, they have like a sugary cinnamon roll, not cinnamon roll, but like a cinnamon sugar one that's very good and also very sweet and very unhealthy, undoubtedly. Anyway, I say all that because the college that I went to had an Auntie Annie's like inside the student center, and man, oh man, there were like 2 or 3 times a week, depending on which class I was going to or from, I would have to walk by where that was located, and without fail, the smell would waft out of the building or out of the room in which it was located. I was able to resist its siren call 98% of the time, but yeah, I would say 3 or 4 times, only 3 or 4 times, I succumbed to the smell because I was a hungry, poor college student. You know, obviously I didn't necessarily take the best care of myself. So, you know, I was frequently hungry, frequently underfed. And due to my own negligence, that is. But yeah, like the smell was always so pleasant and so like impossible to ignore. Auntie Anne's, that's the one, BDR. Yep. And yeah, Johnson has them too. I don't so much remember the sauces, but the pretzels themselves are pretty good. Here in St. Louis, there's apparently a place called Gus's Pretzels that Gracie loves, but I've never been. So I'm hoping to experience that at some point. I had Gus's fried chicken here in St. Louis for the first time a couple weeks ago, but and at first I got excited thinking they were maybe proctored by the same Gus. Turns out there's actually more than one person named Gus. Can you believe that shit? There's actually more than one person with that name. That's crazy. Necromancer. I'm just going to assume that this guy... Oh, yeah. Bonk. Launch this motherfucker. What's a lady? Yeah, I was figuring she was going to be not happy with us. Oh, wow, that guy successfully body blocked us and then gave us a disease. He actually body blocked us. I'm surprised. I was like, no, I can reach past him. Just like now, like, yeah, he's stopping me so well. Was she mad? Oh, I need to watch my health. Did they stunt my magic? Oops, I went right over. She's wise to back up. You're wise to run the fuck away from me, lady. I'm very cool. And I'm very strong. Just trying to kite me into her homies. It will be your undoing, lady. You cannot run. But she's still alive. You're a traitor to your own race. Dude, I'm not a high elf. Maybe he thinks because I'm an elf, we're like not so different, you and I. I love how the pathfinding is like, time to run into the wall for a little bit, fam. Yeah, they're wise to try to backpedal. Can only take them so far, though. There it is, though. Just a couple of necromancers for funsies. Now, I had a feeling they were going to be not nice to us. I guess I could have checked first, because, yeah, I went right in and started stealing things from them. Cure. Here we go. Is Buffalo officially part of the Midwest? I wouldn't think so. I would assume Buffalo would be, you know, more into the, maybe not the coast, but more East Coast. Although Arctic, who lives in Pennsylvania, he's in Pittsburgh, he's told me that like some parts of the East Coast area have some of like the best and or worst qualities of the Midwest, free of charge, you know, bundled in, free of charge. So you might be an honorary Midwesterner, Johnson, without really knowing it, honestly. Cinnamon sugar in the creek. Yeah, that's the one. Cinnamon sugar. That's the one that is... I love it, but fuck, it's so unhealthy. But that's the fun. That's what makes it... That's what makes life worth living, is unhealthy things. So, Auntie Anne's and also Great Lakes. I guess I didn't... Wait, I didn't realize you would be that close to the Great Lakes. In your neck of the woods, Johnson, and what's it called, in Buffalo, but maybe there's like more, maybe that's like more into the, well, I'm thinking of like geographically speaking, where the Great Lakes were, how far the Great Lakes spread northwards and eastwards. I can't think of a case where it would be able to reach up, but like which lake it would be, but I would trust your expertise in the matter more than I would trust mine. If there's anybody who would know it, you would know it more than I would. By the way, we found some more Varla stones. Boop and bloop. Excellent. And I think there's another button here. I'm gonna press it. So you're pretty close to Lake Erie. Oh, that's right. You did tell me about Niagara Falls being close. And because Niagara Falls is where that is, right. Okay. So yeah, that actually does sound familiar, Johnson. I think I'd forgotten that little detail. Because yeah, you're further west into the state than I was thinking. So yeah, you might have some of those Midwestern sensibilities then. Without really, you know, it being super advertised. New York State, Canada, yeah. Western New York? Well, I was thinking like just more west into the state than I was thinking. Yeah, Western might be kind of a silly thing to say. Midwest is the mid-best, says BDR. We're not biased, are we, BDR? About the Midwest being nice? We're not biased at all. Us Midwesterners, we would never, you know, have a dog in this race. Have a dog in this fight. One thing I will say about the Midwest. Yeah, not biased, just honest. The one thing I will say about the Midwest. Oh. What's going on up here? Hold on, hold the phone. I just kind of glanced up because, yeah, you see the blood. It's like, oh, there's spikes, obviously. So I was expecting to see the spikes. I wasn't expecting to see a zombie corpse that has been impaled through what appears to be an unsavory manner. I got rudely interrupted by this motherfucking necromancer and his spinny zombie. Zombie's not doing a good job of fighting me, but he's spinning like the best of them. You lost the minute you entered this dojo. What's up, TriStar? TriStar says, yo, West Coast, though. West Coast, best coast. I've only been to the West Coast twice in my... Well, no, I guess I have been there of a handful of times. I've only been to California twice, but I've been to, like, to Washington State. I guess also twice. And you know what? Actually, that is it. I think it's just those 4 occasions. So I haven't had, like, a ton of opportunities. But it is always a nice time going out there. I've only been to the East Coast a few times. I've been to the East Coast more times, though. I've only been to New York State once, but I've been to Maryland and Washington, D.C. a few times. Not for sightseeing, not for anything, like, productive, just for going to MagFest. Because MagFest, it takes place in National Harbor, Maryland. Also, yeah, we were trying to figure out what's going on with this zombie body. Is that its zombie booty or is that its head? I'm actually uncertain. Whoop. Jesus, that looks uncomfortable. From a distance, I thought it was its booty. I thought the spike had gone, like, inverted up some booty actions. And I was gonna be very sad for them. This is still, you know, upsetting, but not quite as unpleasant. Tricer says, you've been to California, they were 2 of the best times of your life. So the last time I went to California was last year, and you might think to yourself, oh, Alex, that's awesome. Did you go to, like, sexy, like, beaches, like, cool area of California? No, I was in the desert, actually. It was for a work thing. I was in the desert in the middle of nowhere for a work event, and, yeah, it's like it was, we flew into Ontario, California, I think. Is that what it's called? Ontario, California Airport? And it was like a 4-hour, well, probably like a 3-hour drive. We rented a car, like 3-hour drive to our destination. So, like, I think we saw palm trees from the airport. That was about it. Like, there wasn't a lot of, like, fun, like, cool California. The first time I went was 2015, I want to say. And that was pretty cool, because I went to San Francisco. It was for a Pride event I was helping with. My then employer had a presence with this particular event. So it was in downtown San Francisco. Was only there for 2 days, but that was actually pretty sick. So yeah, San Francisco was dope as hell. Would love to go back. That's the name of the region. Yeah, Western The westernmost, right? Yeah, in New York State, right? So that's what we call it. Maybe he's into it. Maybe maybe the zombie's into this particular flavor of impaling. Muscle Beach. I've never heard of Muscle Beach, but if it gets the TriStar recommendation, I know it's gonna be good. Good to see you, Mr. TriStar. Hope you do well, buddy. Went to the forest part. That sounds nice. Like really northern. Yeah, because there's like a bunch of cool forests and park areas around the state of California. So that sounds pretty. That sounds pretty nice. One thing I will say about the Midwest is that like I think I've mentioned this before. I have a weird relationship with some parts of the West Coast because there's a cluster of college buddies that I have that like we all have known each other for years. We all went to school together. I'm the youngest one by a couple of years, so like a lot of them are closer. Like I am probably the least connected of the group, because like a bunch of the dudes in this particular kind of friend group unit, yeah, I was gonna say I turned him. A bunch of the friends in this friend group unit have like known each other even before college and whatnot, but I kind of became integrated in this group, you know, just by virtue of being in class with these guys and just spending time with them outside of class and like, you know, hanging out with them after we graduated, that kind of thing. Anyway, Echo's put his weapon away and then decided against it. Thought better of it. Anyway, I have a weird relationship with certain parts of the West Coast. Whoa! Because I think a fourth one has just announced that he's moving to Portland. So like a few years ago, one of my best friends moved to Portland. I was like, oh, I'm kind of bummed about it, but I was like, you know, I'm happy for him. Then a couple years after that, another one of the same guys in that group decided he was going to move there. And then a third one did, and then and a fourth one just announced recently that he's moving. So the West Coast keeps stealing my friends, and I'm selfishly not happy about it. Means I got to go out there to visit, obviously. But it's been weird, like the fact that this one city in this one state keeps poaching my homies. Not cool, man. Not cool. But the one thing that comes to mind is that these are lifelong Midwesterners that have moved to the West Coast, and they have interesting observations about the difference in West Coast living in Portland, Oregon specifically, compared to what we're used to in the Midwest. And I think one of my buddies put it fairly succinctly. He said the Midwest has some small-minded and at times like deliberately evil people. Yes, the Midwest has some fucked up people here, no doubt about it. Well, how much do I want to say here? I'll just say I find myself sometimes having little faith in my fellow Midwesterners when I go to certain counties and I see certain billboards do it like I don't know. I don't want to alienate. You know what I'm trying to say. I think some of you might know what I'm trying to say. There are just I don't see eye to eye sometimes with my fellow Midwestern compatriots and some of our proclivities. So he was like, you know, the Midwest has got some weirdos, but like people, he was like people in Oregon though, and people in the West Coast have like different flavors of like weird eccentricities as well. Eccentricities eccentricness as well. So like no matter where you go, you're gonna find like people with weird hang-ups, people with weird obsessions, and just like the extreme examples of like the populace, like extreme representations of like certain stereotypes and whatnot. I am probably one of those Midwestern stereotypes, so just gotta embrace it, right? So Venice, California, I'm guessing. Stuff with history, that sounds nice. Get you some Voodoo Donuts. I've heard Voodoo Donuts is amazing. Yeah, I've heard Voodoo Donuts is amazing. I think there's a lot of cool, like, sightseeing things I'd like to do. Gracie loves Portland. In fact, when I first met, when we first started dating, she had just gotten out of a long-term relationship. Well, I'll say this much. When we had, like, we actually didn't start dating until, like, really, like, actually dating until, like, a few months after her previous relationship had ended. But when we first started talking, she had just gotten out of a long-term relationship. And at the time, she was talking about moving to Portland because she had vacationed there once or twice and loved it. And I remember thinking, like, damn it, now she's single, and now is when she's getting the fuck out of here, of course, right? But thankfully, I was able to pull the old Super Hobbit charm, and I fooled her into staying. Now, the other part of it is that she determined that she would rather stay close to home, obviously. But no, I've heard Voodoo Donuts is amazing. There's lots of cool stuff I'd like to experience. And thank you, El Gaso, by the way. Holy moly, 47 months. El Gaso, I don't mean to alarm you, but we're creeping up on 2 significant milestones. 48 years. That was 47 years. We're nearing 47 months. Can you believe it? Or, I'm sorry, we're at 47 months. We're nearing 48 months. AKA 48 years. Can you freaking believe it, dude? That's crazy. And that means we're also... Oh, hold on. I gotta restart the game because I don't have a cursor. We're also at... we're reaching, like, 50 months, 50 years. That'll be our golden anniversary. Right, now I'm gonna relaunch the game. And you are closer to 69 months than you've ever been before, my man, which is exciting. Portland is crazy, though. That was how they described it. One of them was like, some parts of the Midwest are like small-minded and evil. Some parts of Portland are batshit crazy. So, but I figure that sentence could be swapped out with any 2 other parts of the United States. Such and such place has some fucked up people, but such and such place has some fucking batshit lunatics. It's like, yep, that is always an accurate sentence. Yeah, when it comes to like some good ass pranks, yeah, like I said, I can't really think of any good examples that I've been privy to over the years. But of course, like, I've been out of like the gang of out of the game rather of youthful exuberance for a while. I'm in my 30s, man. When you're in your 30s, nobody pranks nobody. Everyone's too tired or too sore or too pissed off or all 3. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm gonna guess this does something. It do that. Excellent. Yo, Arctic, what's up, buddy? Too tired to do shit? Yeah, no, I understand. Life is too short. My back is too sore and or creaky. And I have to get up too early in the morning for work. There's just not enough time for shit like that. When you're young and when you're, when like JD when he was talking about like doing drumline practice, I'm guessing probably either in college or in high school. Like, yeah, that's one thing, but no, I think I'm well past that point. So I think that the ship has sailed. What I was about to say is, when I think of like ridiculous pranks, the big one that comes to mind, well, not so much big one, but the big example of people that do pranks that comes to mind are the Jackass dudes and dudettes, mostly dudes, from the Jackass movies. And I was about to say, well, yeah, the Jackass lads, back in their heyday, they were hella into pranks. And then I was like, well, Johnny Knoxville, I think, turned 50 this year, which is a weird sentence to say out loud, but I'm pretty sure Johnny Knoxville turned 50 this year. And they just put out a new movie last year, I think. So, and they're still doing pranks and ridiculous stunts and whatnot. So they didn't grow up, but most of us reach our limit at some point, right? Drinking with a coworker. Oh no, they're all closed by now, Arctic. Yeah, that's a shame. Is that like a new thing, or was that because of COVID times where a lot of schedules got diminished? Because I know you've said that, yeah, Pennsylvania has some weird alcohol serving times laws, like days of the year, that kind of, or times. What am I trying to say? Times of day or days of the week. Surprise birthday party. Oh really? Sonic decor? Oh, that's fun. Woke you up by... Oh, that's incredible, JD. Dude, that's so cool. That's so fun, bud. Summon Gloom Wraith. I'm like happy for you that your friends did that. Yeah, that's like a constructive prank. I mean, waking up to live and learn. Well, let's be honest, JD. I'm going to assume that 30% of your wake-ups are administered by hearing live and learn being blared at like 900% volume. I'm going to assume that's a fairly standard occurrence for you, but having it accompanied with a giant gaggle of people makes it even better. Did a mud run? That sounds fun, except for the knee fucking up part, because yes, that will do it too, is is the aches and pains we all experience. Mango habanero wings. Oh, man. I mean, that does sound nice. The wings, at least, do sound nice. But the dining room was closed. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm glad you get to have some good wings. Habanero is probably my favorite spice, and it is also the maximum level of spice. So habanero wings sounds amazing. But yeah, the dining rooms are closed and all the restaurants are closed because of pandemic fallout. Yeah, I had a feeling. Worried about not being able to... Yeah, I was thinking the same thing about the alcohol limitations. Agasa says, having fun's not hard when you've got a gun. Your alarm is Corone screaming at you. Which is to say, she calls you personally on your cell phone and says, jet dive, _ I need you to awaken. But she says it in her Corone voice. And she screams it into your ear. Oh, that's yeah. And also, Arctic recently got a house, so yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, having new house, growing pains. Mango habanero is a good hot wing sauce. Yeah, I think there is a place not too far from me that does. Well, I don't know how far they are necessarily. Excuse me. Was that a? Oh, I was gonna say, was that a reaction to me unlocking the chest? It was not. Oh, that's the wrong spell. I wanted to cast Turn Undead, but I instead ripped his face off instead. But there's a place that does a food truck, and the food that's like fairly close to me, and the food truck comes to my office sometimes. And yes, one of my favorite things to order is their mango habanero wings. And at least I think it's mango habanero. It's something habanero, and it's incredible. But it's so fucking spicy. It is like borderline painful, but goddamn, it's delicious. A gun is a universal library. That's right. That's right. I mean, most librarians probably would give you the books you request with that kind of library card in hand. Granted, I wouldn't recommend it, but it probably would work short term. Give me the books, or else you get shooks. And be more than 5 feet away from alcohol at any given moment. You never know when it might come up. But it might come in handy. Mango jalapeno chicken sausages. That does sound nice. I'm kind of so-so on packaged meats. But like, yeah, the ones that are manufactured with fun spicy things and like cool flavors. I do like that a lot. There's a place in Missouri, kind of far from me, admittedly. But Grace and I make the trip once a year that does like sausage combinations like that. Kind of like what you described just now, Corky. That are always a nice time. So we make the pilgrimage once a year and stock up, and you know, we freeze what we don't use immediately. It's always a nice time. Like regular sausage, like, you know, regular like bratwurst, it's just okay. Just hard to get excited for me, at least. This conversation is yeah, honestly, same. This conversation is making me want hot wings. I haven't had wings in a minute. I have some chicken in the fridge, and there are wings included with the chicken. It was the remnants of a whole chicken that Gracie and I made, or cooked at least, a couple nights ago. But like legit wings with tasty sauce and all the trimmings. Sounds excellent. So we got this one here, Necromancer's Asylum. Sounds cool as fuck. Right now we're in Tombs of the Undead. I thought I saw one more door somewhere. I'm gonna look around and see make sure I didn't miss something. Quaker Steak and Lube. Quaker Steak and Lube. So I understand the steak aspect because it's probably a steakhouse, but I'm not sure about the lube part. Do they like change your oil while you eat some tasty food? Maybe they lubricate your mouth with the tasty food, like your mouth waters with natural lubrication. When you smell how good it is. The Necronomicon, the Necronomnomicon. Oh, so that's where we came from. Okay, because yeah, in my mind I saw a door in the distance. Because yeah, this empties out to the other side. But yeah, this is all a dead end. Okay, never mind. I'm remembering now. I thought there was something still over here. Because in my mind, there was that door in the distance. I didn't realize that was where it came from. Never mind. My so-sonus to packaged meats. Yeah, because you've probably heard me say before, Black TriStar, I don't like hot dogs. At least, like, not like just the standard dogs and whatnot. Just the flavor profile just rubs me the wrong way. And the, like, the texture about it, I don't know, just something about it just never has appealed to me. And as a kid, it made me ostracized from my peers, because, you know, kids that don't like hot dogs, what the hell, that's unheard of. But, you know, years later, I come to find that a lot of, like, of hot dogs are made with pretty less than savory meat cuts and whatnot, and like, you know, you learn about how unhealthy they are. So I feel a little bit vindicated. Emphasis on little bit though, because I still get shit from it from people, or that is about it. Astral vapors, by the way, my favorites. I'm trying to knock this guy back like that. Yeah, get fucked. Because it's a little bit of spike damage, not much though, admittedly. Oh, look at this bullshit. There we go. These dread zombies have a lot of health. Local chain, and it's a sports... it's a car sports bar, an automotive sports bar. That's kind of cool, actually. How did his leg do that, by the way? Look how his leg got, like, up inside of him like that. So there's cars in the air. So that, yeah, okay, that explains the steak and lube. It's like, usually I see lube and usually I see steak. Never the twain do they typically meet. Hey, what's up, King TJ? Do I have auto run off? Yes, I do. Steak and lube is a good name for a sex toy shop. How's about stroke and lube? Would that work? I like to think that would still work. Quaker lubes your butthole and puts a steak in. Ooh, there it is. There it is. Actually, Arctic, I'm gonna ask you to not just share my Pornhub search history with the chat, please. That is a very private information. I don't just put that shit on blast. Thank you very much. I like a nice footlong every now and again. The one thing I will say is, and I'll give the short version because I think I've told the story before. How I like the weird packaged meats. I like the weird meats, because there was the place in Chicago called Hot Dogs that did like weird combinations of packaged meats with like strange flavor combos. And they did on Saturday mornings or Saturday at lunch, they did the French fries fried in duck fat, which was really nice. The dude probably still is a visionary who did like all these kinds of weird things. But one day he just decided he was bored running the restaurant, closed it, sold it, and started a different business that I'm sure is probably also doing quite well. It was a famous place though. People came from all over to check it out. It was featured on a bunch of like Food Network channel things, TV specials, that kind of thing. So was oh, whoops, I never got my shit repaired, did I? I've been bebopping around like a doofus with the disease this whole time. With the astral vapors, I got the space vapes. And I drink a potion or use, in fact, yeah, let's use one of these things so I can rid myself of this accursed disease. Oh, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I need to turn both of you guys so I can focus on your daddy or your mommy. Your mommy. Bonk. See, I like the standard stuff when it comes to packaged meats. I lose interest very quickly. But like the weird shit, I will try the weird shit and I'll probably like it. Oh, this is a familiar situation. The big meats. The worst seat in the house. Single person table facing a wall. That actually sounds kind of nice, yeah. Because they probably at some point were like, oh shit, we have like extra space for a table, but we don't have like there's like, nobody would want to sit here. But what if we make it a meme, and what if we make it a little bit cheaper? Cause yeah, I'm guessing they were like, yeah, this doesn't work for a lot of people. You know, you come in with a date, you come in with really more than just one person. But yeah, for me, if I'm like going there for lunch, if it's a work lunch and I'm just like there to grab a quick bite, you know, 30 minutes and I'm out, that's perfect actually. Space vapes again. These guys are so fucking tanky. So annoying. I kind of want to corral him into the spikes again. But unfortunately, he's being too smart and he's avoiding the spikes like a doofus. This fucking nerd. Bonk. At least I can knock his ass down. Sounds like a good CPDR. Yeah, I would be very much down for this. Also, this guy's kicking my ass. And of course, me being diseased is not helping matters. Hit me with the space vapes. The anti-vapes, rather. Not a fan of facing the wall. I don't know if I would mind it so much. I mean, I guess it's nice being able to, you know, see around me, obviously, see other people. Being able to see, you know, where the bathroom is, see where the entrance is, you know, that kind of stuff. So like being able to see my surroundings is nice, but I'm assuming you have like peripheral view, so it's not like just wall and nothing else. But the discount part though is like, yeah, that's a way to make it a little bit more tolerable, to kind of sweeten the deal. Because yeah, they were probably like, we could put a table here, but why would we? No one would want to be here. It's a nice way to make the best of a worse situation. Anyway, here's the relic. The blood makes me a little bit nervous, but the statue has been acquired. I think we already have one of these. I'll still grab it because it's fairly valuable. And I'm guessing this is the final room. This was the, what's it called? The Necromancer's sex dungeon? What's it called? Necromancer's Asylum. Same thing. Same thing. So, the fact that we fought, I guess, just one Necromancer. She was, I think, called an Adept, which I think means, like, a fairly high-level person. Granted, she got her butt kicked, and the zombies that were near her were way more of a challenge. Necromancer's bottled piss storage? God, I wish. God, I wish that were me. That'll take us back to the main area. Perfect. Huh, really? I was expecting there to be more things around here. TF2 sniper all over again. I was thinking Bear Grylls, really. Necromancer's Bear Grylls. Sun is going down, time to drink my own piss kind of thing. But also TF2 sniper is a valid comparison too. Bottled piss storage. There's a... Oh, here we go. This is a new area. That's how you know someone's a real gamer. If they've got a little section under their desk for keeping their bottled piss, because they don't want to get up to use the restroom. It's like, nope. When the gaming action is just too strong, I can't be bothered with these minute details. Jesus. I mean, I joke about it, but I realize that okay, I have observed evidence that such kinds of things have taken place. TF2 voice actors, I've heard about it. Like the actual voice actors in person doing their voices. Like unscripted, that is. So I would imagine... I mean, I would imagine the voice actors for, you know, TF2 and all these games, that they do plenty of other roles. You know, a lot of voice actors are pretty dang versatile. But I'm sure that, yeah, many of them would, like, recognize them for their TF2 work, because their voices are so iconic. Star Deus. Oh, really? Rimworld modder. Oh, from a Rimworld modder, and it looks Rimworld-esque. I have not heard of this Ogasa, but I am down. for at least giving it a look-see. Is it on a particular platform like Steam or Epic Game Store or something? Because if you have like a link, you're more than welcome to either, if you want, you could post in the chat or post it into the Discord server. Because I'd be down to check it out. Because yeah, new RimWorld expansion drops in a few days, I think, actually. I don't know if it's tomorrow or the day after, but it's pretty soon. It is on Steam. Excellent. Thank you, bud. That's very helpful to know. Because yeah, I'm kind of curious. If it is RimWorld-esque, you have my attention, because Augusta knows I love that game. It kicks my ass every time I stream it, but I always enjoy it. It's an enjoyable ass kicking. Yo, Fable, what's up, buddy? Are we doing Fighters Guild? We're actually right now doing some questings for Umbacano. We just got one of the Ayleid statues in Macamentian, and now we're heading to Malada for it's a quest involving cleansing of the High Fane. I think it's called something like All You Can't Possess. It's also for Umbacano in the Imperial City. But I don't quite know what exactly it will entail. We'll figure it out when we get there. In fact, let's just go ahead and target this. Nothing you can possess. Look for the carved panel that he wants. It's a particular panel. Like some kind of artwork, I think. Gotta peep that stuff. That's right. Thank you, Elgaussi. Yeah, put in the Discord server. Because, yeah, I'm very, very interested in checking this game out. But yeah, I also do want to get back to RimWorld. For one thing, I still have not even tried the Ideology expansion. This happened when we streamed RimWorld last year, where I started it up because I wanted to play the Royalty expansion for the first time. In the middle of that playthrough, they announced the Ideology expansion. So I was already one expansion behind. So I was gonna be like, all right, maybe sometime next year we'll stream RimWorld again for old time's sake, and that'll be like my opportunity to get caught up and try the Ideology expansion. But nope, now Biotech is out, or it's almost out. So it's like I'm constantly a little bit behind. Means I need to stream RimWorld for a year straight. That's the only explanation, or the only other option. Inchius. Very cool. Is this one of the DLC quests? I'll confess, I actually don't know. I actually don't know if this is a DLC quest. It was given to me by Umbacano, which is in the Imperial City. But this one's kind of a special one, because it's not just, oh, I want more Ayleid artifacts. This one is, it's a specific kind of Ayleid artifact. He calls it a carved panel. I'm guessing it'll be some kind of artsy thing. But it sounds like it's special. And I think it becomes available after a certain number of successful ventures. Or something like that. It is basically... Okay, thank you, 8-Bit Llama. Yeah, if anybody would know, 8-Bit Llama knows pretty well. We do have DLC things on the horizon, because not too far from Malada is Thundercliff Watch. And I think I want to try my hand at Thundercliff Watch tonight, although I'm assuming it'll be a big thing. Because they talk about in the description for it, apparently it is how you get Maroon's Razor, which is a very good dagger, I think? Some kind of artifact, some kind of very good Daedric weapon. But in the title or the description for the quest, they say that it is the entrance, or the ruins rather, are above a lost city called, I can't remember, the name escapes me, but I'm guessing we'll go into the Thundercliff Watch dungeon, we'll explore it, and then we'll find like this subterranean city. I have no idea what to expect, but I'm guessing it's going to be significant, whatever it is. So part of me wonders if I should save that for later, from when I want to do big DLC things, but the other part of me thinks like, well, the Maroon's Razor might be better to get sooner than later. You know, for my Dark Brotherhood things and my Thief questing things, if I want to use something that will help me assassinate with sneak attacks better, getting that sooner than later would not be a bad idea, honestly. Ideology is good. Yeah, I remember some of the stuff you shared, Elgaso, with Ideology in RimWorld, and it looked fantastic. It sounded hilarious. Yeah, RimWorld is one of those games I very much, like, am always wanting to come back to. What will inevitably happen is that I will eventually beat this game, and I'll beat all the faction. Well, I've beaten the game, quote unquote, but eventually I'll beat all the faction things that I want. I'll beat all the side quests that I want, and I'll beat all the DLC things that I want to do. And eventually I'll be done with Oblivion. And when that happens, there's other stuff I want to get to. I've been in a Castlevania mode for a while. I kind of want to do some games that are similar to Symphony of the Night. And what I would probably do is I would start with the GBA Castlevania collection that is on Steam. Maybe play through 1 or 2 of those. And then hopefully by the time that is done, Morrowind Randomizer will be ready. And all the changes that I've made to will be done. The changes are extensive and they're extremely time consuming. In fact, I haven't been able to put much time into them haven't been able to put much time into the updates over the past couple days. But yeah, I've got like an ever-expanding laundry list of things that I'm working on for Morrowind Randomizer. So once that's ready, I'll start incorporating that into my streams. But then once it's either run its course, or if I like have room for more things, because I don't know if I would do Morrowind Randomizer like every stream, but as a once in a while thing, that would be something I would like to do more of. Inevitably, I'll be looking for like the next big thing, and RimWorld would be a very good next big thing. Are these guys baddies? I guess they aren't. No, they have names. Okay, if they have names, they're probably not baddies. They have Daedric helmets. Oh, they look at this. They sleep in the rain, in the exposure. They got, I guess maybe keeping their boots on makes sense in that case, but it's like, that seems very uncomfortable. Kind of curious, actually. I'm gonna sleep. Not sleep, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna stand over them and be a fucking creeper and see if I can interact with them. I'm kind of curious. The Sims is free to play. Really, Fable? That's cool. The Sims is free to play. The Sims 4, I'm guessing? Well, that would make sense. Yeah, I wonder... This is like a new development, maybe.
Yes?
Like, this guy's like... Alright, it's 10 a.m. Time to start drinking from my tank. What's up, Stoats? Oh, BDR's got a video for us. Let's watch that in a second. Hold up, let me resolve this real quick.
Strange ruins, huh? You'd have to be crazy to go in there. I'm just here for the scenery and fresh air.
Scenery and fresh air, he says. What about you, Demon Face Rigmore? How is he drinking through that helmet? I'm not convinced that it is very mouthable.
What?
It's a lady. I wasn't expecting that.
The council runs the arena to amuse the masses, and it pays for itself with all the fools who lose their shirts gambling.
Hey, what's up, Irossi? It is Sims 4, but that's the thing. Yeah, if there's a bajillion DLC. I mean, I guess if you have access to the base game, that's nice. But yeah, to have the full experience with all the features, yeah, the DLC is the thing, obviously.
Beautiful countryside, don't you think? We're just doing a bit of hunting and sightseeing. Not that it's any of your business.
Kind of sus, don't you think?
Take care.
I mean, hold on. Their disposition of me is not horrible. 43 means it's less than 50, so it's not great, but it's not horrible. Yeah, a little bit weird that these folks are like, yeah, we're just hanging out. Not doing anything weird. The dude made it seem pretty innocuous, but the lady was like, it's none of your business. Like, it's a little bit, I wouldn't go as far as to call it sus, but I would call it a little bit odd. Their placement here. This is the place, by the way. This is the big one. So let's save. And let's check out BDR's video. They're up to something the way that... Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, BDR. I bet once we explore this place and we find... We either find the carved panda or we find evidence that it's been recently looted, I bet they will be involved in some way. So here we are in Malada, or outside of Malada. Who's this guy?
What can I do for you?
I'm having a hard time seeing your eyes, buddy.
You're probably wondering what this one is doing in this God's forsaken wilderness. Same here. Srazir doesn't get paid nearly enough for this.
It's only one of them sounds like they kind of want to be here. Because there was the lady, she was like, it's none of your business. This guy's like, I'm just paid to be here. Uncanny Misery or Uncanny Missouri? That's where I live sometimes, Ogasso.
It's a matter of trust, and I don't trust you enough yet.
Well, in that case, let's make him like us. He actually likes us quite a bit already, so this won't be too hard then. So he does not like jokes. He loves admiration. Doesn't like coercion. So I think admiration and boasting is what he'll respond to the most.
Well done. You're wasting your breath.
So, unfortunately, I can't do... yeah, I was gonna say, I lost a little bit of progress there. Let's do Big Admire.
Please, I'm embarrassed, but...
Pretty good boast. Small joke, small coerce. Let's do small coerce, big admire, small joke, big boast. 73, that should be good.
You are cautious and perceptive. Good traits to have in this business. Yes, you guessed correctly. This one is working for Marek. He never tells us anything, though.
Oh, that guy.
Just between the two of us, this one thinks Marek is cheating him. In fact, this one is sure of it. Listen, Srazir has an idea of how we can both come out of this ahead.
I'm listening. Marek. This is the guy... Right, when we were first given this quest, Umbacano said that he gave the same quest to a rival treasure hunter as well. Or a rival adventurer as well. And he suggested we talk to him and, like, you know, trade information. And he gave us some information on how to get here, all that jazz. And he was, like, strangely nice. So, I had wondered if there was going to be more about him. So, this Marek person is this rival adventurer, treasure hunter person. And if these three people have been hired by Marek to, you know, try to find this carved panel, that's one thing. However, it sounds like Srazir has something, has an idea.
We wait and see how this plays out. If and when there's an opportunity, Srazir will help you against Marek. If we succeed in recovering the treasure, you give this one half of what you're getting paid.
Sure, why the hell not? I don't need the money. I need the drama. We have so much money. Money is of no factor to us. But the intrigue and conspiracy, that's much more interesting. How the conversation goes. Oh, like how we're admiring him and not joking and not coercing, but boasting at him.
You won't regret it. This one will keep his eyes open and wait for an opportunity to help you. Don't screw this one, though. After the dust settles, look for Srazir in the Tiber Septim Inn in the Imperial City. Full payment is expected.
Or else. It's part of the quest.
Don't worry. This one will back you up when the time comes.
Alrighty. Out of curiosity, will these two say anything else? Or is that all she wrote for the interactions for now?
Go ahead, please.
She has nothing?
Goodbye.
This guy probably does not as well, or also has nothing.
Be seeing you.
And very green. Very green armor and then very red Satan armor. You can almost see like a mouth, like Tifer's kind of, sort of, the way that helmet is shaped. Loyal mercenary, yes. The fact we're able to buy his trust. Actually, I didn't even buy his trust. I just convinced his trust, and the game crashed. Very good. That's okay because we did save a few minutes ago. We'll have to do the conversation again, and probably the boasting and admiring again. So that's kind of annoying. But what's an Oblivion stream without a few crashes? That just means we're Oblivioning the way we ought to be. Means we're gaming. All right. Means we're real gamers. Try that again, because I did a manual save. So yeah, so it was before we had done this conversation. So let's do this again.
What can I do? You're probably
Yeah, what this one's doing.
Imperial City itself.
A walled city, blah, blah, blah. We need to make him trust us. So I'm guessing. Loves admiring. Yeah, so these two still. So we'll do pretty good boast.
Remarkable.
Small, small. Pretty good
Really
admire.
now, you're
Then we'll
such a
do
Not
small,
bad.
small.
That's just talk.
Then big, big. 70. Perfect. Oh, actually, that was all I needed to do, actually.
That's just really now. You're such a charm. You're
There we go. I didn't need to do the extra one, but I went ahead and did it. I'm listening. It's a deal. Alright, good talk. And we're all caught up. So easy, man. So easy. It just means it's working. The pain means it's working. The crashing also means it's working. But yeah, the game crashed when we approached. So I tried to load something in that it didn't like, but now it's okay. So I bet at some point we're gonna get accosted by his fellow mercenaries. His fellow homies. Full glass armor and full Daedric armor too. So, some pretty high tier shit. Let's jump on in then, friends. Let's see what awaits us in this happy little place. Bears. Dungeon bears, the worst kind. Not summoned from a Spriggan or anything, I don't think. Yeah, not summoned, just a plain ass brown bear. He's big bear, he's tough, full gruff. And mountain lions. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my! I'm getting stun locked. And then he's out of there. Now, I wouldn't expect to see a mountain tiger, but yes. The lion and the bear part has been very well represented. I'm gonna theorize that my equipment got a little bit hecked up by that, so I'm gonna go ahead and repair. I have 12 repair hammers anyway, I might as well use these things. And I used almost half of them just now, goddamn. Blew through 5 out of 12 of them just instantly. Ursa Dungeonius. Dungeonius. Yes. Yes, the dungeon tigers and dungeon bears. Dungeon lions, I know it too well. Seen it too many times. Hope they were extinct. Oh, maybe I haven't seen them enough times then. Yeah, maybe we just uncovered a new discovery. And to be clear, I still have this selected as, yes, I do. It's still the main quest. Help me against Marek. Marek. Bears! I was not expecting dungeon bears. I really was not. I guess I would, you know what, I'll say it. I would rather dungeon bears and dungeon mountain lions than dried zombies that we were fighting earlier. And like the super, super tanky monsters. Granted, bears are tanky, especially brown bears. But, they're several tiers behind the things we've been fighting lately. So, if I have less tanky, obnoxious combat, then I will take that as a net gain. See, I think I saw a rat. A dang dirty rat. That's where we came from. Oh, we can go up even more up, even more further. Eagle-eyed viewers will note that we don't have any quest markers right now within the dungeon, so we're just kind of poking around. We don't quite know exactly where this thing is. I'm expecting this dungeon is probably going to be fairly chonky. A fairly thick dungeon. With maybe some surprises. I think this mountain lion is slowly approaching me. Mountain lions are known for their slow, tactical approach. Our reward is... got an ebony cuirass in there, which is pretty cool. Curious how they were able to fit that thing in there. Bigger on the inside. And this is a dead end. And there is nothing. Oh, well, there's an area up here that we can almost jump to. That's okay, though. We'll be able to come around. There are the stairs that go up one more floor, so we could just take those. It's a welcome sight. Same, Stoats, yeah. And I'll confess, I probably do lean on them more often than I would otherwise want to. But yeah. It reminds me of the good old days, bud. The modern-ish games, yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Stoats. I will confess, when it's there, I probably pay more attention to it than I ought to. I would rather if it just wasn't there, because then it would encourage me to explore. But this, you know, this is of course coming from a guy who loves Morrowind, and loves Morrowind because it is such a slow and methodical game. But you know, as much as I love Morrowind, as much as I love its slowness and it forcing you to drink in the landscapes, I also recognize that time is money. And that we only have so much free time. And that playing a slow-ass game like Morrowind, I adore. Because it's a game I know pretty well already. If I was brand new to Morrowind, like I am brand new to this game, and I was looking for, you know, shortcuts to make the game move it along a little bit faster, if there was other stuff I wanted to get to, I would, you know, I would take those shortcuts, which is kind of what's happening here, you know? Like, I'm enjoying this game, and I'm not in a particular rush for it to be done, but I'm also kind of excited to get to other stream things. So yeah, there is a small part of me that is kind of nudging me to not dawdle as much as I would otherwise, you know, to really savor the game. I'm still savoring it. Like I said, it's not like I'm forcing myself like, oh, poor me, I'm so unhappy playing this great game. It is still good and I'm still enjoying myself, but it's one of those realizations, or I guess just reminders, that yeah, when you're playing a game for the first time, oh gosh, yeah, these things. When you're playing a game for the first time, I'm gonna save. You know, it is an artifact of like the time in your life in which you're experiencing it. Like when I played Morrowind for the first time, I was an adolescent who had lots of free time and I had never played an Elder Scrolls game before, so I didn't have any prior expectations, and it had like all those variables added to a scenario that worked very well in my favor. If I started with this game or Skyrim and then went back to Morrowind, and I'm older and I've played other Elder Scrolls games, so there's expectations, I can quickly see how it becomes, I wouldn't say less favorable per se, but it becomes less of a like, why don't they like it the way I like it? You know, like it's almost like, you know, you hear somebody say, oh, they didn't like this game that you liked. It's like, why not? Why didn't they enjoy it? Well, it's because the scenario was just different. Carved stone that Umbacano gave me. Oh, he gave me a thing apparently. I forgot that even happened. And a rat was guarding it. And a skeleton. But not a rat skeleton. Oh, it's a nether lich. Oh, that's just great. No, son of a nether bitch. Where is he? I was calling him a leather niche, a leather bitch. He's behind here, isn't he? How are you summoning things, you fucking dude? Is this the carved panel? Excuse me? You know what's gonna happen. We're gonna pick up the carved panel and shit's gonna emanate from the walls. There's one there. And one there. Let's do this. So we found the carved panel, but there was one more destination that slipped by us. I'm not convinced that this is all that there is. There was a third floor that we saw previously. I want to go check out that third floor entrance really quick. So give me 1 sec. I'm going to take a quick BRB. I'm not actually leaving, obviously, but I'm going to take a quick sabbatical to go back this other way to see if there was something else that caught our eye. Caught my eye, at least. Because there were stairs going up. And I seen it. I seen that shit. Here we go. Yeah, this is the one. Even if you were to mod the game to remove it, you could get lost. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair point, too. So, yeah, it's because of the way, like, the dungeons have been designed and whatnot. Yeah, it's kind of the expectation where you can't really get around. Well, I shouldn't say you can't, but it's a lot harder to get around without utilization of the quest markers. The game was designed with that as an expectation. So if you remove it or choose not to engage with it, then yeah, you're making it unnecessarily hard for yourself. The days of the in-world directions, yeah. And again, I love it, but I also recognize that as people get older and have less free time for video games, yeah, maybe the idea of like poring over a journal log to, you know, find directions for a thing might not be worth their while. Like, you know, for some people, they would see that and go, man, this is cool and all, but I just don't have the time or energy for it. And they put the game down, they never pick it up again. And which is a tragedy because it's a great game. But no, I totally get it though. I totally get how that can happen. By the way, there wasn't anything crazy in that chest. All that for just some gold. Yeah, whatever. I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know what was in there. It's not so much what was in the chest, it was more the thrill of the chase. Let's acquire the carved panel. This is the thing that Umbacano wants. Time to get the fuck out of here. You can guarantee that someone, or someones, oh boy, will be not a fan of what we're trying to do. Wasn't expecting that to come crashing down on me. What I was expecting was these motherfuckers entering into the fray. This I did expect. I was gonna say, does he not see me? Surely he does. Bonk. Fuck out of here with that nonsense. There's a bow and archer, bow and arrow lad. I'm just whooping up on this guy. Surprised he's taking so much damage, but I fucked him up real good. I got this guy cornered the way I like it. Perfect. Something I could steal his shit. Can you knock him down? When you knock down a skeleton, it is extra satisfying because you knock them down and their head falls off temporarily, which is fun. So we killed the Nether Lich. The Nether Lich leather bitch. Which is no shortage of entertaining for me to say. So we were thinking like, oh yes, this is the way out. However, you can see there's a door this way. Whoa! Oh god, my legs splayed out for a second there. You can see that sure enough there is an area behind this dude. Damn it. Ouch. Oh, what the hell? He's chaining this paralyzes, dude. Oh my god. Surely they won't kill me this way, right? Oh my god. Alright, well, they keep hitting me with something. I can't cast any spells, but I can drink potions, I think, like this. Oh, they're draining my fatigue. That's what's going on here. Oh, shit. Hopefully I saved. Because I don't know if I can out-heal this. Maybe now is the time when it would be worthwhile to stockpile restore fatigue potions. Yeah, I don't think it's paralysis. I think they're draining my fatigue so well. As you look at the fatigue numbers, I think that's exactly what's going on here. Endurance is temporarily drained, and that would affect our fatigue, but I think they're draining our fatigue specifically. I used to make a bunch of ridiculous restore fatigue potions, and stopped doing that a long time ago because it didn't seem necessary. No more healing if need be. Go and drink this feather potion. Actually, it would be helpful. Can I dispel? You cannot dispel those, apparently. We could try... I might have spell absorption. Potions of stamina. I have this. This would be a good time to use that, perhaps. I think I only got the one. I have some human blood. That would help, right? Let's see how it goes, but I might have to quaff more restorative health potions, and... Yeah, we have these two potions for restoring health and restoring fatigue. Invisibility might work. They might at least let me get the fuck out of Dodge. Alright, I can move. Yeah, I just want to be able to heal and get out of that stun lock loop. And that's of course a summoned Gloom Wraith. So it's not like it's something that will stay damaged. It'll eventually just wink out of existence. Bonk. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. On your sad pedestal. So that's what happens when they drain stamina. Is that you get, if you get down to below 0, you will be sad. I'm being silenced. Turn Undead is great for cases like this, where it's like, I just want to focus on one thing at a time. Finally. That was a regular Lich. The Nether Lich was much harder to fight, for some reason. Or, I'm sorry, the Nether Lich was much easier to fight for some reason. I would have expected Nether to be higher than vanilla. Got his ass, though. If that could work for the dread zombies, you mean like draining their stamina down? And using that kind of against them? Because, yeah, it probably could, actually. Drain their stamina with a spell or something. So they're stuck on the floor for what feels like an eternity. My shit got pretty messed up. My equipment got pretty messed up there, so... Carved panel. It's a lot smaller than I was thinking it would be, but that's what she said. Only one hand broke that time. Well, let's see what awaits us in this next tier. Because all it was saying we needed to do was get ourselves back to the Imperial City. If there's more to delve and more to explore, I'm not going to say no. Or this will just be a convenient way to get out of this place. It'll be like a secondary exit area. The Gloom Wraith. They moved right in time. Oh, he is unturnable. Or at least I'm unable to turn him. So that was a regular Wraith we were fighting earlier, not Gloom Wraiths. Ouch. I was gonna say, I thought I heard another noise. This one is a regular one, so I'll turn him. Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Now that I've fucked his weapon away from him. He's not defenseless, but he is sad. Actually, I don't want your weapon. I don't think we're gonna need quite this much ectoplasm. We only needed 5 for the Fighter's Guild quest, but I guess I might as well. Extra credit, right? That is not the regular Wraith, that's another Gloom Boy. Another gloomy friend. Mysticism is increased. Good. As it should be. Let me disarm you again. It worked really well against your buddy. Ouch. Anybody curious? Alex, why do you keep casting Detect Life? The dude is sitting right in front of you. I don't think you need to detect him, man. The only reason I do it is because I have a vested interest in raising my mysticism skill. But there's not a lot of mysticism things that I really need or would benefit from. So it's like, it's one of my major skills. So I might as well, but it's the one major skill I've been neglecting. So it's like I should really not neglect it so that I can raise it up and help it be a vehicle for leveling. But Alex, why'd you pick mysticism as a major skill if you're never going to use it? It was maybe not my best choice. Originally I was thinking, like, again, in Morrowind, everyone take a drink. In Morrowind, there's I think more mysticism spells available. And as a result, I feel like I cast mysticism spells more often in that game. So I associate that school of magic as being a frequent use case for me. Not so much in this game, though. It's a different ball game. Oh my god, he just did a drive-by silencing. And I ran into that shit like an idiot. I mean, those are the usual big guys, right? Alteration, destruction. Not so much... Well, actually, have I done conjuration? Okay, yeah, I guess I have done quite a lot of conjuration. Turning undead is conjuration. That makes sense. But yeah, mysticism... I don't even think feather is mysticism. I think that would also be alteration. There's no warp recall, or there's no mark recall. There's no levitation. Ugh, my heart, man. No levitation, I know. So, that's all these things we don't have available anymore. Some fun ones, but yeah, it's there's spells that I use that I use sometimes, but just not on a regular basis. Restoration, obviously, you're using constantly. Like I said, alteration is pretty frequent. Conjuration for me it is, just because I like turn undead so much. Illusion I don't really use very much in this game, although I didn't pick illusion as a major skill because I knew I wouldn't use it too often. Except paralyze is pretty nice, obviously. And silence for that. Well, actually, would silence be illusion? I think it is. I think silence is technically illusion. Because I think the implication is you're not actually, like, truly nullifying their ability to cast a spell. You're, like, casting something that fools them into thinking that they can't cast it. I think that's, like, the lore behind how silence works. And paralyze, for that matter, too. It's like you're... Why is it an illusion if you're, like, forbidding their body from moving? Wouldn't that be more destruction? Well, no, it's like you're tricking their brain into thinking they can't move. That's why they... I think that's the in-lore explanation for why they're in those schools. Have a good night, though, Quirky. Thanks for hanging out. And once again, happy birthday to our friend Quirky. Happy National Quirky Teacher Day. I'm proud of you for completing another lap around the planet, around the sun, rather. Show that son who's boss by dabbing on his ass. Stopped you from speaking. Oh, that actually that might be it too. But when I think about that, I think of that being as more like a physical property. Because you're right. We think about Dungeons and Dragons and how some spells have semantic components and hand-moving components, that kind of thing. Because yeah, when I think about stuff like that, I think, oh, that would be like more altering the world around me with alteration or something like that. So it's like, why would it be an illusion? Because when I think of illusion, I think of things that are just to fool people. Because we've been in the same dungeon for a while. When you're in the same dungeon for a while, there's not as many autosaves happening. So a little bit nervous, but I'm fairly certain I saved right around the time that we were in the front of the panel. Looks like we instead saved... Oh, it was right after we fought this fucking dude. Whew, that's a relief. So we don't have to fight these guys anymore. That actually is a tremendous relief, so never mind. So we can just jump on in. We were fighting wraiths, I think. That's fine. That's fine. It won't take too long. But I was worried I'd have to do that whole combat sequence again with the liches. The sons of liches. We are indeed back, though. And yeah, my apologies for the technical problems. I was just saying earlier how there are aspects of this game I'm looking forward, eventually, to being done with. Again, I'm not, like, counting down the minutes, like, oh, I can't wait to be done with this game. It's not like I'm super, like, trying to rush through it. But there are aspects that I'm looking forward to being done with. And the technical hangups are one of those aspects. And of course, when I do Morrowind Randomizer, that will have its own fleet of technical caveats. I don't know if Morrowind was very crashy on us back in the day. It probably was, to some degree, but I don't remember it as much as being crashy. I think of it more being like weird about alt-tabbing and weird about like getting my cursor on the other monitor. And I think with some of the mods that we have installed on it, like the code extender, or script extender rather, and the code patch, I think it does, you know, change some things around somewhat for the better. Like the script extender with the code patch are one of their many benefits is that they make things run a little bit smoother on modern operating systems. But yeah, there will be their own hangups. I think one thing I'll need to do, if my memory serves correct, is that when it came to character generation, I think I found that there are websites that do some of the character generation the way that I want it, like random character generation for Morrowind Randomizer. Because again, it's random character stats, classes, character class, character race, gender, or sex, I suppose, vampire status, werewolf status, random birth sign, random, what would you say, random, major and minor skills. So, like, there's a lot of things for randomizing, and there's a lot of character generation tools that handle a lot of that, but no single character generation tool handles all of it. So I'll actually be utilizing a couple tools, one of which, frustratingly, is only on smartphones. Like, there's no web version, there's no desktop version, so it's like I'll have to be juggling a few devices for parts of the Morrowind streams. Randomizer streams, that is. But that'll be okay. Because it'll be a different fleet of technical, not problems, but variables to consider. Whoa! Guy knocked my ass down. And why do I try to turn him every time? He's a gloom wraith. They cannot be turned. Damn it, he picked his sword back up. I couldn't reach it. His torso was too thick. I couldn't reach across. Give me your sword. Do it, motherfucker. Ouch. He's so fast. Ouch. You know, one thing that I was thinking just earlier, when I said that Todd Howard was personally responsible for my computer crashing when I play Oblivion sometimes, and it's correct, he is. He'll have to answer for his sins eventually. Whoa, he still hit me with that shit. He turned around, he still hit me with that shit. But Starfield is a game that is being worked on right now, and there's a lot of people that are very excited for good reason. You know, a new Bethesda game, a new Bethesda IP, not just a new video game, but like a new IP that is not Fallout, not Elder Scrolls, but like its own new thing. It's kind of cool. Like, we haven't had one of those. When was the last new Bethesda IP? Have we had a new Bethesda IP in dozens of years? I legit cannot remember. We probably have. We probably have had a new one that I'm not considering here, but anyway, so that's like pretty cool. However, the internet being the internet means that we get some like fun, like goofy remixes on this excitement. So there's a lot of videos being made. I think there was some interviews with Todd Howard and some of the other Bethesda higher ups happening, like being recorded and being put on YouTube. And there was a video that came across my timeline. It was like a remix of one of these Todd Howard interviews, recent Todd Howard interviews about Starfield, and it was like spliced to make it look like what he was saying was absurd. He was like, Starfield is a video game. It will be the most video game we've made in years. Obviously, he doesn't actually say that, but they're cutting out various words and editing it to make it look like he's saying complete lunacy. I think it will be one of the video games that they've made in years, so I think that's probably accurate. Starfield, more like Garfield. Now, the question, Elgaso, is how long will it take modders to, like, go ham with that game and the memes? Because I hope that's one of the first things that happens. Like a mod that changes literally all the character models into being Garfield or something. Zero time at all. Yeah, I hope there's already mods out for the game. Like months before the game is even out. Speaking of like modifying games in ways that developers might and publishers might not necessarily approve of, Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 apparently, and okay, confession time. I actually have not confirmed this myself, but allegedly, for a small moment in time, Overwatch 2 became the highest searched category on Pornhub because it took modders 4 days, I think, or 3 days to crack the allegedly uncrackable encryption that Activision Blizzard had put onto their game assets to prevent people from ripping the assets from the game, using said assets to create like readily available blenderable and other animationable 3D models that can be then turned into porn videos. Because that's what happened with Overwatch 1, dude. Overwatch 1 had so much strangely high quality porn. Like, it was wild. Like, very early on, Overwatch had like a lot of like really well animated and like really well done porn. It was like really impressive. The pornographic footage, or videos rather, people were making was like really good, like way better than you would ever expect for just people doing it by themselves. And it kind of turned Overwatch, it kind of helped, I would say, elevate Overwatch into being more than just a video game, but also a waifu simulator, or at least a waifu enjoying kind of game. And I don't think that hurt Blizzard, or whatever, yeah, Blizzard Activision, but I guess they wanted to get in front of it this time, and they were like, we're gonna encrypt our game assets so well it will take modders years to crack this. There's no way they'll be able to get our ass this time. And then it took them just a few days after the game's release, and Pornhub is full of Overwatch 2 memes. Well, memes. Overwatch 2 porn now. And it's, well, again, so confession time. I have yet to do the research myself, but apparently it's out there. I don't know if it's as popular now, but for a minute there it was popping. Anyway, I say all that because there was a meme that popped up on my timeline not too long ago. It was like clearly a custom modeled pose of Diva holding up her hand like this, and it was like, Diva, how many days did it take modders to crack the unencryptable, or the uncrackable encrypted character models? And she was like 4 days. Anyway, that's a big build-up to an anticlimax, if you will. Fan art. Yes, that's what it is. It's fan art. It's called hentai, and it's art. Don't know what they thought was going to happen. Of course, as it should be, I, for one, am here for it. 1 day to crack the models, but 3 days for them to... There it is, yeah. Yeah, make sure to have appropriate and accurate nipple placements. Witcher 3, yeah, you're not wrong. Although I've at least played a little bit of Overwatch 1. I think the most Overwatch I've played was actually with Dave. It was one of the LAN parties we did back in the day with the boys, Justin and Brad and those lads, because it was around that time where they were playing a lot of Overwatch. Justin and Brad and those guys played a lot of Overwatch back in the day. Overwatch 1, at least. And I think there was a Humble Bundle, or maybe it was a free weekend. For some reason or another, I never bought Overwatch, but I was able to play it with the boys in one of the LAN parties. Oh, that's good. I didn't notice that this was one of these, but I'm not complaining. I'm silenced. Look at it here with that. Whoa! Now, it's not going to do a lot of damage to him. As you can see, he's mostly nonplussed. Still fucked him up, though. But yeah, that's that particular evening was really the one time I played any significant amount of Overwatch. It's not my cup of tea, but it's a good game. It's a very good game. It's just not my cup of tea. Especially as I've shied away from competitive gaming pretty much almost entirely, really, over the past several years. But yeah, even then I could see the appeal. It's like, yep, I get it. It was a free weekend. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was a free weekend, and we just kind of happened to time it perfectly. Overwatch I used to own Overwatch 1. Now Overwatch 1 has been deleted from the internet forever, in lieu of Overwatch 2, which I think works where I think it's free to play, or if you owned 1, you automatically own 2. But I got Overwatch 1 in a Humble Bundle some time ago, and never launched it, but I own it. Owned it, apparently. First-person shooter is not a huge one. Yeah, and burnt out in competitive stuff, right. If you played a lot of League of Legends, other competitive games, yeah, you could be forgiven for not being super excited for more of that. I mean, Overwatch 1 was a really good game. I'm guessing 2 probably is as well. Actually, I was hoping to fight just one of them, but they're just kind of hugging each other. They're both very good games, but yeah, they're both competitive games, obviously. And Overwatch 1 for sure had a well, really any popular competitive game is going to have reputation with its community. Specifically, Overwatch 1 was no different. It definitely had a reputation for its community as being toxic and at times unsavory in many ways. But again, I can't really fault Overwatch specifically as being like, oh, it's a toxic game and its players are garbage. You could levy the same complaints towards League of Legends, Call of Duty, Rainbow Six Siege, Dota 2. I mean, dude, the list goes on. Freaking draining my strength, dude. Not cool, bro. Is it light and load? Is that the one I want? 75. Should probably get a better feather spell at some point. Not sure which one I've already started on. Well, they're both Nether Liches. Apparently Nether Liches are lower tier than vanilla Liches, because that guy got so easily. I'm being silenced. Yeah, I'm thinking more about the Overwatch 2 thing. I think specifically, as I'm thinking more about the articles that I'd read about the Overwatch 2 porn situation, is that Diva specifically was like at the top of the list, and I think that actually kind of tracks. I think she probably is one of the most desired waifus from the game. But they've added new heroes with Overwatch 2, and I'm guessing they'll probably add more as well. So new heroes, which means new waifus and husbandos, and new lore, and new, you know, dream pairings of who gets to bone whom gets to bone whom in their, you know, chosen porn videos. So it's like a new beginning, really. Most popular Overwatch 1. Yeah, I would imagine. I think one of the things that is probably like most like appealing about Diva's character is the fact that she is, from my understanding, is that she apparently, her character is like addicted to video games and is kind of a gremlin, in addition to being like a cute anime girl. So it's like you get like kind of the best of both worlds in that kind of setup. A fellow degenerate, she's just like me, for real. Literally any other one though. When we played, I'm trying to remember some of the characters that I tried out. I think, knowing me, I probably just hit random every time. I tend to default a lot of times to support class characters in games like that. Mostly because, actually, I remember now what I did. What I would do is that I would look for what role is not being filled, because obviously DPS was always being fulfilled. So I didn't get to play a lot of DPS, but I ended up playing a lot of support and a lot of tank or healers slash support, and a lot of tank characters. I did not like playing tank characters. I don't think I do very well for that style of gameplay. But those are the characters that other people wouldn't pick. So as a result, those are the kind of characters I found myself in, because you would see the character select screen and it would say your team does not have a blank, or your team is like too light on this, you know, archetype. So as a result, I just filled what things needed. I filled the needs as they appeared. These motherfuckers. Boop. You got away. Turn his ass around. You turn the beat around. But yeah, if I was given my own free reign, though, yeah, I actually don't know who I would have picked, honestly. Like, if I were just, you know, given the reins and say, pick any one you want. Zarya, is that... Zarya. I would probably know the face if I saw it. The name escapes me, though. I want to turn you. I wanted to turn this guy, because he's harsh in my style. Widowmaker, is that the purple sniper lady? Because yeah, I think she's one of the more popular DPS characters, I think. And probably one of the more popular waifus. Come to think of it, it's the purple lady. The buff lady with the minigun. She's awesome. Yeah, she's really cool. I don't know if I ever got to play her though. But I like her like character design, like her attitude is fun. Helmet of the Drowned. Well, actually no, it would prevent you from drowning. The anti-drowned. The anti-Ben drowned. Like a laser. Yeah, it's like a laser minigun, Gatling gun thing. Something like that. Yeah, Widowmaker. If that's the purple lady, that's... I'm pretty sure is a pretty popular waifu. And also Mercy, right? Wasn't Mercy also like a very popular character? She was the one with like the wings and the healing wand or the healing staff, I think. So yeah, she was like a popular healing character. Yeah. Now I'm out of my pocket here because, like I said, it's a series that there's nothing else that I missed back here, wasn't there? It's a game now, a series that I pretty much abandoned early on, but I admired from afar. Like, I like seeing the cool clips people would share over and... Oh, I know what happened. My feather just ran out. I like seeing the clips people would share. I like seeing, like, just the fun things people did with the game. And a few people, a few of my friends would stream it from time to time. Which was kind of nice, too. Yeah, why am I carrying this? I don't want that. I've got a number of other staffs that I do want to sell. But that one is the least valuable. Farah and Mercy, yes, I remember. Farah was the jetpack lady, right? I think, you know what? I think I might have played the jetpack lady, and I think I might have really enjoyed myself. I think she was pretty cool, if I recall. Disintegration? Oh, disintegrate weapon. Yeah, that's a pretty deadly combo, because, yeah, Farah, or, sorry, Mercy. Mercy was the wing lady, the healing lady. And she... I think her healing staff functions similar to the medics in TF2. The medic healing weapon where you can like heal from afar. So yeah, if you got a jetpack lady jumping around walls, launching rockets at people like a boss, and then you got a Mercy tethered to her relatively close by, giving her heals and buffs. And that, yeah, that's huge, obviously. That's a good pairing. Also, I think that's it for this cool little place. Yeah, so some extra little fun dungeons. Fungeons, if you will. Some extra treasure gathering opportunities and whatnot. However, we need to get out of here and into the Imperial City. And we can almost be assured that there's going to be a surprise waiting for us at the end. At the entrance, even. Because, come on, we all know those dudes and dudettes that we saw just chilling by the entrance were probably not just there to be our buddies. Well, except one of them. One of them is our buddy. But only one. The corpses of bears and mountain lions litter the the path. So we got one guy waiting for us right from the get-go. Again, I think we all know where this is going. Hello, friend.
Well done.
Oh, it's this guy.
You have much to learn about this business, my friend, but you show definite promise. But first, of course, you must hand over the carving.
I thought it was going to be his other buddies. You can't have it, dude.
I truly have no wish to harm you. It is the carving I want. Just business. Hand it over, and someday we will both laugh about this over drinks at the Tiber Septim. I will give you one last chance.
Interesting his reasoning, where he's like, it's like, oh, it's just how the business works. You do all the work, and then I threaten you to give me your earnings, and we'll laugh about it. Believe me, it'll be hilarious. Hey, remember that one time I forced you at under threat of violence to do my bidding, and you got nothing in return? Hilarious. Yeah, it's not happening.
As you wish. Too bad. I was just getting to like you.
This guy has a weird sense of humor. So we just got lots of homies, unsurprisingly. And we're supposed to have a homie. Oh boy, I would like to not get stun locked. That'd be very cool. Can I just go back in this way? Yeah, I was gonna say, if I could have some room to maneuver, that'd be really cool. We're supposed to have a homie, but I'm guessing the homie is either distracting the big guy, or we'll see him later, or he decided just to the heck off. This guy is very squishy. She is tanky as hell, but this guy is... Well, he's a spellcaster for one thing. You know, those spellcasters. I trust him as far as I can throw him. Man, I've been spending a lot of time stunned. These guys must be very high level. As I have been leveling my agility, which means I should be able to not get stun locked as often, but I think the bad guys have been leveling quite as well. The fact that she has full Daedra armor is pretty sick. Daedric armor. It's pretty sick. Let's see what that note says. What? Not again. Okay. Alright, well the game... It's not... Well, hold on, I might crash. Hold on. Let's see. You probably heard me say, not again. Okay, it didn't crash. It wanted to, though. It really thought about it. We had the one really bad crash earlier, and I think that was the only, like, thing that's happened as far as, like, the game being weird. The fact that I restarted my computer earlier, so if a crash earlier put my computer into an unplayable, an unsavory state, then it should be fine now. You know, given that we'd restart. So I actually don't know where the big dude went. What I do know is that this guy's here.
A pleasure to speak with you.
So, Cloud, I think? Cloud Merrick, he went invisible and disappeared.
I kept my side of our bargain. Make sure you keep yours.
Did you kill him?
Bye.
I just saw him go invisible, unless he, like... teleported him. He like hit him with like a arrow of divine intervention or Alms V intervention and like just sent that motherfucker to the Shadow Realm. I was kind of hoping to kill his ass.
Hi there.
The dude who, you know, but unsurprisingly kind of ended up being more than just a rival, but a nemesis. Yeah, I'm guessing either... Maybe here's what happened. Maybe it was like he was never going to do the dirty work himself. He was just going to hire his homies to fight us. So maybe what it was is that when we teamed with this guy, he wasn't going to like actually help us. All he was going to do was just not fight us.
I hope I can.
So his help would be to like, okay, I will help. I'll promise not to, you know, try to fight you when my buddies do. Escape and return to the carving. Yeah. So we don't know where Cloud is, but we got the carving. And yes, we'll give this dude half the monies, because if we don't, he'll be sad. The Imperial City we go. It'd be, I guess, Tellus Plaza? Sure. If we can find... Oh, what time is it right now? It is a little bit early. We can find Cloud again and exact our revenge for him trying to kill us.
Good to see you again, sir. Shall I escort you upstairs to see my master?
You shall.
Very good.
Now, is this one of the guys, when we first met him, who introduced himself as a manservant? Hello, yes, I'm the manservant of such and such, which is a term that provides me no shortage of amusement.
Treasure hunter. Please, have a seat.
Yeah, we'll sit down and talk with him. We'll be civilized.
Ah, yes. My treasure hunting friend.
Always like looking
What can
above
I
me.
do for you?
My eyes are down here, homie.
The Elder Council and the bureaucracy have managed the Empire's affairs for decades. The Emperor rules, but the Council handles all the details.
Can we talk about the whole Claude situation?
I believe a little friendly competition always sharpens the wits.
Okay, so he has nothing else. I do have... Well, we'll talk about the High Fane thing first.
Yes. You learned that it is the ruin now known as Malada. Were you able to recover the carving yet?
Yep, here you go.
Wonderful. You are indeed a treasure hunter of exceptional talents. Here is your reward as promised. Normally, I would give you a chance to celebrate your success, but I do have another task for you, if you are interested. A rather urgent one.
Urgent, you say. What of this Cloud situation? Also, what was the reward? It was... Pretty thick reward.
I hope you don't blame me for the unpleasantness with Marek. I have no control over the man. In any case, it all turned out well, didn't it?
I mean, he did specifically give that task to him as well. Friendly competition, he called it.
The carving you recovered from Malada will be invaluable in my research on the late Ayleid period. This is not quite in your usual line of work, but I hope you can help me just the same.
I'm curious.
A rival collector has an item which I very much want to add to my collection, but she stubbornly refuses to consider any of my offers. She and I have had our differences over the years, I admit. Now she is taking this opportunity to get her revenge. I believe that you may be able to persuade her to part with the item, where I cannot due to her prejudice against me. Are you interested?
Sure.
I hope
Now,
you
will it be
succeed,
literal
where
persuasion?
I have
Or will
so
it be
far
theft?
failed.
Or some quid pro quo? I guess we'll find out. What about this collector? It's some money to sweeten the pot, too.
Her name is Herminia Sinner. She lives here in the Imperial City,
Oh, that's
in the
convenient.
Elven Gardens district. She fancies herself a student of the Ayleids, although she sadly lacks any aesthetic instinct whatsoever. Be that as it may, she has come into possession of an ancient relic known as the Crown of the Ayleids. Your job is to acquire it for me. Here is more than enough gold to buy it at any
The 1,000
reasonable
gold.
price. You may keep whatever you do not use as your fee.
Tell me more about this Crown of the Ayleids. It sounds pretty cool.
Reputedly the crown worn by the last king of the Ayleids. It deserves to be part of my collection.
Deserves, he says.
Very little is known of him, not even his name. He ruled the last Ayleid city in Cyrodiil during the First Era, 3 centuries after the fall of White Gold Tower.
This guy knows his history. All right, fam.
Take care.
Greetings, champion.
That's me.
Shall I show you up? Indeed. Rindir's Staffs is the best place in the city to buy a magical staff. Or is it Rindir's Staves?
Actually, I get staffs and staves mixed up all the time, too. To this day, I don't really even know what the proper one is.
Ah, yeah.
Also, I have this thing. This.
Yes. I am impressed. Bye.
Do I have one or do I have 2? I think I might have 2 for him, actually.
Ah,
Ah.
yes.
Oh, I guess I
Well,
don't. For some reason, I thought I had 2 to give to him. Only 3 left, he says. Now, out of curiosity... Yeah, one issue I think I have is that I'm not sure where to go for the last 3. Because for a while I had like a bunch of spots on my map showing where they were located. It is staves. Because yeah, like if it's the plural of staff being a held rod object. yeah, I don't know if staffs is the right word or staves is the right word. So is it an F or is it a V? But anyway, yeah, as far as other Ayleid ruins that could have the relics that he seeks, I think there's one over here. Is either Miranda or Ninindava. One of these I couldn't get into, or somebody advised me to go in only after we did like the main quest. So I think one of those is not explored. So next time we're kind of in that neck of the woods, that'd be worth exploring. But that would only account for one, where there's two left. I was hoping he would tell us where the other ones are, or if there would be like a book that would say where they're located.
Ah, yes.
Ah, yes. Yeah, it seems like there's no...
You know it as White Gold Tower. The center. It was brutally sacked thousands of years ago.
Right, he knows his lore. So, yeah, there's no other conversation topic that would be relevant for it. It is a V. Oh, but it's a pronunciation thing. Oh, I gotcha. Staves or staves. I got you, right. So the spelling is one thing, but the pronunciation is the other. Hence Elgaso's meme about it's pronounced the word. Thank you, Elgaso. Very cool. Let's check the note, by the way. I forgot to check that from the person we fought earlier. One of the people we fought earlier. It was very helpfully described as note. Keep an eye out for strangers. Umbacano thinks to cheat us, as usual, so we'll play cautiously. Oh, this was written by Merrick. Not into the ruin until I arrive. We may not need to risk our necks this time, he says. Yeah, these were people that Merrick had employed, obviously. Thinking Umbacano was going to cheat them out, apparently. Keep an eye on the guy that helped us out. He's acting even twitchier than usual. He finally realized he's not getting a full cut. Right. He's good for one more job. Best I could come up with short notice. Yeah. So they knew he was gonna bug out on them, more than likely. Now, out of curiosity, does he have his cool prized carved panel thingy on display somewhere? Maybe when we come back, he'll have it up somewhere. Convenient, though, that we're going to a place that is within the city. Makes our job easier.
Morning.
Is it morning in game? I guess it was. Is or was. We need to find our buddy, though. We need to find our buddy that, you know, helped us out. And again, by helping us out, I mean he just chose not to attack us. Right, well, I need to repair. Well, okay, yes, I guess repair. I do need to do that. I need to sell things. We have a lot of things in our inventory that we would do well to part with to free up inventory space. So let's do that first. In fact, that'd be good. Go into the market district. Or go to the usual place. Our usual buyer, who has generously deep pockets. And it'll be to the Merchant's Inn. I think it is.
They say syndicates of wizards have led a boycott.
So here's the guy. Oh yeah, I wonder if I could find Cloud at the...
I'm at your service.
Oh, what is it? The Tiber Septim Inn, I wonder.
Have a look around. You won't find better.
He's just
prices
chilling.
in all Tamriel.
Having a pint, waiting for this whole thing to blow over.
You've made a good bit of gold.
So keep that dagger. I'm gonna sell all the staves. Staves. Damage fatigue on target. We did find that does come in handy. Going to screw over.
Good deal.
Going to screw somebody over. It can be very nice. Maybe he's from Boston with the accent that he might have. That's a pretty good staff. Drain speed, drain strength. Well, it's annoying. It's not very useful, but it's annoying. So we're keeping that guy. And I guess we'll keep this too. I mean, I guess. It's light enough. No need to get rid of it. Just normal weapons. There's a shock. That's a good one, obviously. Omnipotence. Oh, right. Willpower and strength. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'll keep this one still. The absorption ring. Amulet, that is. It's still good. Crossring is good. It's got a lot of just stuff to offload in general. Grand Ring of Freedom. Hell yeah, brother. Get that out of there. Killian, normal weapons. Normal weapons, 15. Yeah, I guess it's okay. It's expensive. It's like valuable. Poison 13 is not very good. Get that out of here. This thing, it's heavy armor. No, thank you.
That's a fair deal. You drive.
You can drive a hard bargain. And then I think that does it for, yeah, for like equipment things I wanted to sell. I will definitely get rid of the old mortar and pestle.
You drive a hard
Got the master version now. So that was an upgrade then. Excellent. Let's check out this human blood that has no value. I don't know, man. I'm thinking it might come in handy at some point with some dealing with a vampire eventually, but it's yet to transpire, so I'm not so sure. If it would come in handy anywhere, it'd be the Dark Brotherhood. That's my reasoning. Sorcery, I'm gonna get rid of all three of these. What's this one do? Oh, drain magic. No, thank you. Potion of light. No, thank you. I don't need 25 sorcery potions. Let's sell half of them. A little less than half. Fortify strength. No, thank you.
That's more than I'd usually pay.
So we got enough ectoplasm for the Fighters Guild, which is good. Still 16 poison apples that are weightless. They might come in handy again. We'll see. Probably no time immediately soon, but they could. There might be another quest where we need to sneakily cause people to not be alive. Or just sneakily place them in their inventory for them. Which you found was the best way to do it. It was still scrungy as hell, but it did get the job done eventually.
That's a fair deal.
I think I need to read the Fortify Endurance Tome. I'll check that one. So what's that one do? That is, oh, 70. That's the standard fire potion we already have.
A fine transaction.
Magic drain on touch. If it was on target, then maybe. You know, maybe we'll talk when it's on touch. That means I'm already in melee range, so I'm putting myself in danger, in the danger zone. Keep seeing these kinds of quest items, and I think I could probably get rid of that, but like, what if it comes up again and I need like proof of my illicit activities in the Dark Brotherhood, why I killed everybody? It's like, well, I was prompted to by the main man, so I keep thinking it might be worth hanging on to. Pension of the Ancestor Moth. Okay, we'll sell that one. I think that was from the Blind Moth sanctuary for the Thieves Guild. We had to a thief earlier. That was something we had to plunder previously. Summon Dromora, Daedra Lord. Yeah, summon all these things. This one I did read, I'm pretty sure. We'll sell that one. Got a lot of soul gems to sell.
And
They are mercantile skill up while we're at it. Cool. We'll take it.
That
10
seems a fair price.
empty grand soul gems, which is pretty cool.
That's more.
So all 10 of these.
You. That.
Now, one thing I definitely need to do is get more hammers. In fact, does he have hammers? He very well might. He does! What a cool homie. In that case, I will take 10.
Pleasure doing business with you.
157,000 gold, by the way. Can you goddamn believe it?
Good.
So, let's check to see what books I need to read. There's at least one that I do need to read. So that one we've already got. Summon Gloomwraith, so we can sell the book, sell the tome. Not that one. Fortify Endurance, yes. I knew there was one that we did not have accounted for, and that was it. Alright, so now we'll just sell those two. Whatever you need.
What can I interest you in?
So you can take that. Then you can also take one of these. And now we're good. All caught up. All caught up and also all freed up. Look at all that inventory space. Inventory capacity. Wonderful. Now we can try to find what this person is. This mystery person who lives down here. And also we need to see if we can find the Khajiit who helped us out, so we can give him his money. So if we don't pay up, he's gonna be sad. He would probably, you know, inflict violence upon us, or try to.
Speak.
We can most assuredly win, but it's the ethics of the matter. I'm a man of my word. I wonder how easy this is going to be to swindle this lady. Convincing her to part with her prized possessions and such. All for Umbacano. She apparently is in this region. So this lady in the red outfit, maybe?
Hello?
It is.
Greetings, champion. I'm at your service.
Let's see what you got. Actually, let's start with rumors.
Have you heard? Adamus Philida has been killed. Murdered by the Dark Brotherhood.
Oh yeah, we did do that, didn't we? Yes, that was me. How could I forget? That was me. Let's talk about this first.
The King of Nenalata is the last Ayleid king known to history. True.
Nenalata.
He appears to have ruled for centuries past the fall of all the other Ayleid kingdoms, if the ancient chronicles are to be believed. But there never was a single king of the Ayleids. Each city-state had its king, and their power waxed and waned over the years. The King of Nenalata was the last, simply because all the other kings had been destroyed or driven out of Cyrodiil.
Like how Shrek in the background is just frozen in place. Trapped in time and space.
You want to buy my Ayleid crown?
I do.
It isn't for sale at any price. I would think Umbacano would know that by now.
He'll pay well for
I
it.
will never allow the crown to fall into Umbacano's hands. He is far more dangerous than you realize.
I'll say he's a harmless collector.
Far from it. His interest in the Ayleids is not that of a mere scholar. He hopes to unlock the secrets of their magical power. And if you know anything about Ayleid-ruled Cyrodiil, that should make you very uneasy.
Tell me more. Is this not just a simple fetch quest, but something deeper? Time freezing when talking to... Yeah, that's what's happening here. He's like, oh god, I can't move. Jesus, it's scary. I can't breathe.
I don't know for sure. I wish I had a more persuasive answer, but hear me out.
Exploitable really stones.
Ayleids, which
That's fun.
Umbacano wants, is not simply an ancient work of art. It has certain superficial magic powers, true, but its real power is hidden. However, my studies of the ancient text make clear that it is the key to dangerous magical powers which should be left dormant.
I promised to bring him the crown, ... Yeah, should we show kind of hesitation? The answer is that yes, Umbacano probably is relentless. Let's go with the first one.
Yes, I understand. He wants an Ayleid crown, but does it have to be my Ayleid crown? What if you brought him another crown?
I'm listening. Charmer person, talk to them. Right, yeah, exactly. Because, yes, the time does not tick down when you're talking to somebody. Earlier, we had cast Detect Life, and then I talked to somebody. I talked to Umbacano. That conversation went for several minutes, and the spell lasts for like 10 seconds or 20 seconds. So you're right, it is delightfully exploitable.
My own research into the
Same way in
late
Morrowind,
Ayleid
actually, too.
period suggests that there was not a single Ayleid ruler, but many. They were a bitterly divided people, with many warlords vying against each other for power. Their ultimate demise was wrought by their own civil strife, at least as much as by the rebellion of their human slaves.
Tell me about the other crowns,
My crown,
then.
the one Umbacano covets, belonged to the ruler of Nenalata. I've learned of another crown, entombed with the last ruler of the rival city of Lindai. Since Umbacano has never laid eyes on the real crown of the Ayleids, I doubt he could tell the difference. In any case, the other is also a real Ayleid crown, just not the right one. I think we could all sleep better if you brought him Lindai's crown instead of the crown of Nenalata. Here, I happen to have the key you'll need to
That's
enter
awfully
the
convenient.
royal burial chamber in Lindai. I hope you'll make the right choice.
All right. Well, we got our marching orders then.
I hope you'll make the right choice. Umbacano must not have the crown of Nenalata.
I actually was hoping we would, and maybe we still will, get an opportunity to learn more about this horrible power that Umbacano foolishly wants to release, and if there's something we can do to quell it or something. I don't know. Like if there was more potential
The Ayleid
questing
city
there.
of Lindai was a bitter rival to Nenalata, the city of the so-called last king of the Ayleids. Umbacano may not be able to tell the difference between the crown of Lindai and the crown of Nenalata. It's at least worth a try. I know I don't want to find out what terrible power Umbacano could unleash using the crown of Nenalata.
Take a drink every time you hear her say Nenalata. It's fun to say. It almost sounds like an Italian kind of approach to it verbally. Give me one sec, friends. I gotta go take the Dexter doggy out. He's being a good boy. And he's giving me the look. Little doggy look that says, please. Please, I wish to go potty. Alright, so thanks to this lady, we have an alternative means of acquiring a crown. We could probably just steal the crown from her and resolve the quest that way. Or we could go the ethical method, which is to say, let's go to of Linda. So let's go to presumably an Ayleid ruin. Honestly, exploring a ruin sounds more interesting than, you know, murdering and or thieving from a person. Although I say that we are in the Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood, so maybe it's not that far off. I'm actually kind of curious that it's pointing us to a location in the city. Oh, it's saying we could either go to her place or go to Lindai. Lindai is actually one of the few places we've not been to in this general region, it seems. So that's pretty cool. I'm kind of curious to see, where her spot is. I just want to see it. All right, I'm not going to steal it, probably. I just want to see it. In fact, there she is. Is she going home?
You look like a bright one.
I am a bright one. In fact, I'm so bright, I'm definitely not gonna... I'm not gonna just steal her crown from her. But I am just kind of curious. Because yes, this is kind of a cool thing that the game lets us do, where it lets us decide which path to take. Which approach to go for. Because if we were to steal the actual crown and give it to the big man himself, that could actually have some pretty rough repercussions, potentially. If what the lady says is true. Because Umbacano is on the impression that she just doesn't like him, and that it's personal. And that has nothing to do with a greater good, whereas it sounds like it is indeed a greater good. So her house is over this way. There goes the noble champion, definitely not about to commit minor petty theft. No way in heck would he ever do something like that. I didn't really make sure I was hidden for that, did I? I just kind of walked up to the door. She has a basement, as these NPCs typically do. Oops. So I'll take that. I'll take that too. Yeah, any valuable things, I will go ahead and repurpose for my own selfish gain. I'm not above it. She also has a copy of Cleansing of the High Fae, not surprised. It's a copy of this thing too. Is it in here, I wonder? Ayleid cask key, I'll take that. Now granted, that might be just another of the key that she already gave us. If she was smart, she wouldn't leave it unguarded. She would have it on her person at all times. A knock spell that might alert the guard to illegal activities. A knock spell, you say? That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, like some kind of... I know that exists in D&D. But yeah, if that was a thing... Oh, here it is! I don't know if that's a thing in this game necessarily. That'd be kind of cool, though. Alteration, Conjuration, and Reflect on self. It is light armor, but god, the armor rating is horrible. Conjuration, Alteration. That's nice, but the thing is, our current helmet is way better. For us, at least. Oh, I need to sell I need to fence these. I forgot I was hanging on to these. There we go, this thing. Yeah, this thing is much better for us, and the armor is slightly better. Slightly. So that's not quite as good for us. Oh my goodness, Shake! Shake, that's so nice. Thank you, buddy. Shake, you rated us just the other day, I think. Thank you for that, my man. That's very generous. Yeah, let me save the game real quick so I can alt-tab safely without fear of crashing the game. We've had a few crashes in-game and otherwise tonight. Actually, well, no, it has all been in-game. Anyway, thank you, Shake. That's so nice. Yeah, Shake rated us just the other day, I think. It came back for more. Thank you. That's so sweet, man. I really appreciate that. You're very, very kind. What's up, Fivefinger? It's a D&D term. Right, yeah. For unlocking things. Would that be considered illegal activity? Yes. Yes, it'd be considered breaking and entering, as well as trespassing. So we would be very much... it would be very much a not good thing if somebody were to catch us breaking into someone's house in this game. Thank you, JD, giving us a shout out for our boy Shake. Doing some more Parasite Eve. That's right, you're doing some of that last time. Because yeah, Shake is an old school gamer, right? He knows not only does he know Parasite Eve, he made a video about it, actually. He was telling us about this last time. He made a really cool video about it. Works really hard on it. It's one of his favorite games, as I recall. And yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you for that raid. How'd the stream go tonight, bud? Thank you, everyone who came in from Shake's raid. That's, oh yeah, that's right. The Parasite Eve dude. That's some good stuff, man. As I'll confess, I've not played it myself, so I can't pretend to be an expert myself, but I can enjoy it from afar. And I do want to play it, because I enjoy games from that era a lot. A little headachy. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, bud. Glad to hear it was still good, though. I remember last time you played a bunch of games. Parasite Eve was one of them, but you played several things. Was tonight mostly focused on Parasite Eve activities? And also, two other things. You might already know what's coming. If you have a clip you want to share, you're more than welcome to hit me with it. I always love getting to see what kind of fun activities you were up to. That being said, if you got a headache and it's late where you are, bud, if you got to head to bed, I totally understand. No shame if you got to raid and run, because I do that shit all the time. Us fellow, you know, late night degen streamers, us fellow night owls, we tend to pull the late night hours until it's like, oh god, I got to get to bed. I have work in the morning or school, and then it's like, all right, let me raid somebody, because, you know, you want to be nice and help people out, but then it's like, dude, I can't stay long, though, man. I don't want to overcommit. Ooh, this one's a very hard chest. We actually haven't had the opportunity to open one of these in a minute. But we have the skeleton key, so everything is easy when you get the skeleton key. Or easier, at least. Because it never breaks. Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. And then Parasite Eve. Dungeon Crawl? Hold on, is the game called Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, or are those two separate games? Because I'm curious about all of them. Like myself, he is a multifaceted content creator who's on multiple platforms. Honestly, that's the way to do it nowadays, so... It's kind of hard to, you know, make it on the space having just one presence and on one platform. You kind of need to be in a bunch of places. You need many appendages and many pies, as it were. Thankfully, we did not acquire a bounty just now. You'll note I didn't steal the crown. I just wanted to look at it. It was pretty cool, but I would not use it, honestly, because buffing, alteration, I think, and conjuration are nice, but it really wasn't enough to justify the means. So instead, I'm gonna warp over to Fort Ash, sorry, and then we shall head north to Lindai, where we'll get a stand-in crown. We'll find a wolf. We'll get ourselves a stand-in crown because the one that Umbacano wants is how we say evil and cursed and will doom humanity forever if it were to fall into his hands. Or something like that. Maybe I'm over-dramatizing it, but something like that. Which means more dungeon crawling. We've been doing a lot of dungeon crawling already. As one does. Correct, Five-Finger. Correct. Motherfucking bear. Can't say I'm surprised. Bonk. Yeah, the knockdown animation or special move is one of my favorites. Damn, that motherfucker flew. Good lord. Black bear got some sick air. And the nut button. What's up, Farsight? Good to see you, bud. I hate it when that happens to my hat. Yes, I hate it when that happens to my mundane object that I left at the restaurant and forgot to take with me before I left. And then the server unknowingly picked it up, activated it by accident, and his face melted. Happens all the time. So embarrassing. And then you come back and it's like, oh, sorry, I think I left my hat here. And then you see the building... All the windows are blown out and tentacles are writhing out of it. And the building is physically bleeding. And the screams of the damned are echoing. And you go, ah, yep, another one of these. Gosh darn it. It's happened once, it's happened 1,000 times. Lindai, here it is. I don't know why it's pointing us to the top left corner specifically, but here we are. Didn't take us long. So allegedly, there's a new crown that does not have the evil world-eating powers that this big one has, but to a collector who can't tell the difference, it'll be fine. It'll all be fine. The light of benevolence to avoid the evil shit, probably not a bad idea. So as always, let's grab one of our trusty 151 torches, 152 torches. More dungeon delving. Lots of dungeon delving tonight, but these have been targeted dungeon delvings. All Ayleid specifically. All Ayleid ruins. Whoa. For anybody tracking bingo boards, a couple things to note. We're seeing bad guys take damage from environmental damage. We've been in hella Ayleid ruins. We had the game crash. So that's a couple of bingo board entries right there. Also, I should be mentioning it every so often. We have closed captions activated, by the way. I used to have it set up through a plugin, or no, I'm sorry, not through a plugin. I used to have it set up through a browser extension, which worked okay, but it was a bit intrusive. I now have it set up through a OBS plugin that is much less intrusive. You would activate it from the bottom right-hand corner. There's a little CC icon next to the gear option in the Twitch player. So if you would prefer to use closed captions, that is an option. It's off by default, of course. But it's there for those who want it. And if you want more information about the plugin I'm using, if you type !CC in the chat, you'll be shown a link to the specific plugin I'm using if there's any streamers that want to use the same method. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, and I like it a lot. I think I like it more than the other one that we were using, the browser plugin. It was just okay, but I think it was a bit much, maybe a little bit intrusive. I'm kind of surprised this guy was avoiding me. Now he's deciding to touch my tra-la-la. My ding-ding-dong. Whoop, there he goes. I got the vapes from this fucking dude. Gosh dang it. This is a non-summoned dread zombie. So he's just gonna persist long after this lad is dead. You know what? No, never mind. Can I turn you? I can't remember if I can. I can. So satisfying knocking the shit out of these guys. Although I really shouldn't do it too much more with Turn Undead because I need to make sure to... Oh, another fucking guy. You know what? If there's another one, I will need to heal myself, cure myself rather, and then I will need to do more Turn Undeads. But this particular disease is annoying because it stunts your magic. So your magic cannot get recovered at all while the disease is active. So many zombies, so little goddamn time. At least that's just a headless zombie. Those are a lot easier to deal with. Bonk! So I have open captions. Open heart captions. Open heart caption surgery. Your hats give you a splitting headache when you do bad things. Oh, right, because they're aligned. They're like lawful good aligned. Zambinos. The dread zombies. They are annoying. I don't know. I actually don't know if they're like the worst, toppest of tier zombie friends in this game. But they are annoying as shit. They're annoying as shit. I feel like every time I think I've seen the worst kind of zombie, or kind of undead, we unlock a new tier and I go, nope, this one's way worse. The thing is, this is a dread zombie, obviously. And that before them, there were, I think, headless zombies. And then before them, there were regular zombies. So the fact that there is a dread zombie, but not a headless dread zombie, makes me think there's more where that came from. So I fear that that we're not done. By the way, eagle-eyed viewers might have thought to yourselves, so Alex, why did you feel the need to chase that motherfucker down? Couldn't you have just let him get carved up by the pendulums? Speaking of which, that is very annoying. Like that guy just did. There we go. The thing about zombies is that their health regen is so obnoxious. They get health back. Oh, we had 1 gold on him. Their health regen is ridiculous. So it's like you really should finish the job once they're wounded, because otherwise... Oh, what in the world? Oh, I thought there was an invisible thing. Yeah, you want to finish the job because if they're wounded and they escape, they're just gonna be that much harder to kill later on because they'll be at full health again. Non-nether liches we have. We've encountered vanilla liches, which is to say they just call it lich, no nether label. And I had assumed that a nether lich was a higher order lich, but I think it's actually a lesser order lich. And then I think there might have been like a lich lord or like a dread lich. I think there was 1 tier above what we've seen as well, or 1 tier we've seen tonight. I think there's like still another spicy boy. Poison or something that stunts health regen. Oh, against zombies? That's a good question. I know they resist some magic. I know they're immune to cold and they resist some magic, some damage things. I don't know if I've actually ever tried using poison. Like a poison spell, at least. There's, of course, poison you can dip your weapons in for like a one-time hit. But yeah, I actually don't really know if I've tried too much of that. I would need to see if there's like a poison damage thing that I have, because I very well might. Oh, he is a summoned thing. Shall I turn you? Can I turn you? I cannot. But it feels like these guys have much less health than the regular lich. These guys are Not nearly spicy. Because yeah, Dan's right. If there was some, like, you know, single damage tick you could apply, like some kind of single damage, like long-term or, you know, 30-second or 60-second term tick over time damage thing you could apply to zombies to halt their regen, that'd be super nice. Because they're just a pain in the ass to deal with. Always. Always and forever. Also, I got pelted with more arrows than I want to admit. Let's extract them. Bloop. If zombies have regen, why do they... That's a good question, too. Yeah, they have health regen, but not like limb regen. Because, yeah, they got missing body parts and holes in their heads. Headless zombies have no heads. It's weird because a headless zombie has no head, and it is a higher order zombie than a regular zombie. So a zombie losing his head somehow makes it more powerful, which doesn't make sense. So, yeah, not quite sure how that zombie taxonomy works out. I think if I were to lose my head, I would exclusively become less powerful. But I'm not a zombie, though. Not yet. Speak of the goddamn devil. I was gonna say, please fall there. That'd be really cool. I don't want to chase this motherfucker, but I'm gonna have no choice because he's gonna lead me right into another gaggle of baddies, which is probably the whole point. And never mind, he is stuck. But look at that, he got to full health. After hitting him like 3 or 4 times, he ran away for like, how long was that? 10, maybe 15 seconds? And then he got to full health. So a good and unfortunate example of just how batshit annoying these assholes are. How did that miss? Okay, that one didn't miss. And Gratoffy! Oh my gosh, dude, you are raid number 3 or 2 at this point? Thank you, Gratoffy. For those who don't know, Gratz is the one who has been proctoring the Bear Den Majora's Mask Randomizer Tournament that JD and myself have been participating in, or we participated in on Monday. We actually need to do a part 2, Graz. I don't know if JD told you already, but this... I don't know if the seed is rough, or if we're just inexperienced, or if it's a little bit of both. I know I am hella inexperienced, because I haven't played Majora's Mask in any capacity since we last all played with Modloader, when we did like 3-player co-op, which was probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. So I can't really say I'm out of shape with the game because I've never been in shape, but I am especially out of the loop. And JD's been doing a great job of carrying our ass, carrying my ass for sure. But still, we've been bamboozled pretty well. So we're gonna need to do a part 2. We went for 6.5 hours on Monday, and we're gonna need to do a part 2. So it's one of those seeds for us at least. Anyway, enough about me. Gratoffy, what were you doing tonight, bud? Was curious how it went. Yeah, we're getting got pretty bad. Although I'm not terribly surprised. We're 6.5 hours in. We've gotten a lot of big things. We have found 0 boss dungeon keys, or like boss. What am I trying to say? Like big keys. We have also beaten 0 dungeons. As this, actually, we've entered 0 dungeons. It's been pretty rough for us. The problem that I've had is that, and I'm grateful for your spreadsheet, because there were checks on that spreadsheet I didn't even know existed. So I've been learning a lot, needless to say. Not sure that, yeah, not sure if it's a rough one. Yeah, I don't know. I would suspect people like myself and JD who don't do Majora's Mask Rando too often are probably getting got, but I think the seasoned pros out there are probably like, oh, this is old hat. So I don't think you would struggle too much with the Gratoffy. But for us, it has been a humbling experience, but it's been a fun one. That's what matters. Here, let me do a quick setup for you, bud. Let's see what you're up to on this fine evening. Oops. Mr. Gratz was up to some Luigi's Mansion 3. Is it your first time playing it, bud? I've heard the new one's real good. And I loved the first 2 Luigi's Mansion games, but I've yet to play number 3. And I've heard it's fun, and also Gooigi is a thing, which is just the best. Pretty good so far. Excellent. What's up, Shadow Fox? It's a good game for October. We are in spooky time season. So if there was ever a time... I mean, there's always a time for Luigi's Mansion. It's never out of season, but it's especially in season right now. Do you have any clips from tonight's stream you'd like to share, Gatafi? You probably know this. I try to think to say this or request this whenever somebody raids me, because you did me a solid by raiding me, sharing your cool peeps with me. The least I can do is to turn the spotlight on you and say, yeah, what can I do in return? Because although Gatafi sometimes goes fairly late into the degenerate hours like I do, so sometimes he's an easy raid target because it's like, ooh, he is going into the late night hours. Perfect. I actually can't reach this guy. Well, can I? Maybe. Yeah, I can't reach him, so we'll have to open the gate otherwise. Not sure if you have any offers on the table, bud. Offers on the table. Yeah, like I said, for those that don't know, Gatafi is one of the main Majora's Mask randomizer dudes. We've actually played many games with him. We've done Majora's Mask randomizer together, with JD as well. We've done Ocarina of Time rando. We've done Perfect Dark. We've done a little bit of Mario Party. We did some motherfucking Fortune Street, one of Gatafi's favorite games. So yeah, we've done lots of fun stuff with this handsome bearded bear gentleman. And there's no buttons for opening these things. I was hoping to find a switch. We're playing some Oblivion, by the way. I didn't really mention it, but we're in the midst of my first ever playthrough of this great game. We actually beat the main quest already, so now we're doing side quests and faction things and DLC things. We've yet to start it, but I've been warned, or advised rather, that the Shivering Isles is like one of the coolest things ever. We haven't started it yet. In fact, I don't even know what the Shivering Isles is or how to get to it, but we have a bunch of like notifications on DLC things to do, so we'll have no shortage of ways to keep ourselves busy, rather. The best game, Majora's Mask, because it is a pretty good one. The thing about Majora's Mask, and Gatafi will, I think, since he knows my like first playthrough of the game in 20 years was last year. I got the chills. Oh god, they're multiplying. It's electrifying. Agility is being drained, intelligence is being drained. Yeah, that's annoying. Not exactly pleasant. But yeah, Gatafi knows about this, so I played through Majora's Mask when it first came out. 100%ed it. Me and my brother like took turns with it and had a blast with it. That was in the year 2000, I think, or 2001. It was a long time ago. It was a late era N64 game. And it was awesome. However, I didn't play the game ever again until Gatafi was like, oh, hey, ModLoader64 is now doing Majora's Mask Rando. Would you like to join? And I was like, yes, I do, but I need to play the game first, as I was so out of practice. So my first playthrough in 20 years was last year, and then we did some Majora's Mask Randos, and they were always fun, but I was, very much leaning on the fact that there were two dudes helping me out, Gatafi and JD, who knew the game better than I did. So now the pressure's on, man. Now I gotta get good. So, however, Ocarina of Time, I know like the back of my hand. So, I think Majora's Mask is probably a more popular rando game for more people. But I'm an Ocarina of Time guy at the end of the day. So if I were forced to pick one, I would go with the OOT. But really, they're both excellent games, so you really can't go wrong. Have a good night, Shadow Fox. Thanks for hanging out, bud. Thank you to all who joined in from Gatafi's nice raid, as well as Shake. Shake the Box hit us with a generous raid as well, so we've had lots of nice folks help out, which I appreciate. Like I said, we'll be going at this for another hour-ish. I do have to get up a little bit extra early tomorrow morning for worky times. We have kind of a mostly week-long not sprint review. It's we call it a program increment, PI increment, or really just a PI. Oh, I didn't want to heal him. Crap, is wrong thing. Shit, wrong spell. Want to turn him. There we go. We have the PI review meetings, which used to be all virtual, but nowadays we're doing it as like a 3-day in-person thing. It's annoying because nobody told us that we were going to be doing it in person until like 2 weeks ago. And we had planned our sprint to, have work done, but instead we're like killing this entire week to just sit in meetings. So it's like I've got a bunch of tasks I'm falling behind on now because we didn't have this planned in our for our sprint, because again, no one told us it was going to be in person. We were thinking it was going to be the usual stuff. So it's like I'm sitting in meetings all day. I don't get to do real work, and I'm like falling behind on things that I've committed to. And granted, it's we've included that in our review. We're saying like, yeah, there's tasks that are not going to get done now because of this being sprung on us. So we're not sugarcoating it, but just got to get through it, right? We'll get through it, and it'll I think tomorrow's the last day for it, thankfully. It's probably more popular. I don't know. It seems like MMR's been blowing up lately. More plentiful with the chests. Well, I mean, I guess the thing about Ocarina of Time is that it's older. That one came first, so that one's probably, near and dear to more nostalgia for a lot of folks. But yeah, MMR is like such a Majora's Mask has like such a dynamic number of things to check. Like I think Gratafi, you put it best. There's always something to do. There's always something to check. Very rarely are you just stuck. Because in OOT, depending on how you set it up, that last check might be in a grotto that you forgot about. Granted, that can also hit you in Majora's Mask. There's grottos you can easily forget about. I can easily forget about grottos and areas that only are available on certain times, certain days. So for me, it's a pretty similar threshold of frustration that can happen. Like for me, it's they both have pretty obvious pros and cons. But yeah, I would say Majora's Mask succeeds because there's just so much to do. The downside though is that if you're like me and you don't know the game very well, it's intimidating because it's like, oh fuck, I don't know the places to check. So that's where I tend to lean more on Gratafi and JD to shore up my shortcomings. But thankfully Gratafi made that very helpful spreadsheet, and that spreadsheet has been indispensable for JD and myself. Turn him right around like a record, baby. I sure hope so. Walking across the field. That's a good point too. Yeah, you have much more. I would say, well, for one thing, you have more places. Well, no, I guess you have like about the same number of warpable places. But yeah, the warps that you get in Ocarina of Time are not very convenient. They're great for getting to temples, but temples aren't necessarily close to, certain parts of Hyrule Field and whatnot. Whereas you have very convenient owl statues in Majora's Mask. So yeah, that is very much a thing that Majora's Mask has over Ocarina of Time. Because the warps are nice, but in Ocarina of Time that is, but they're sometimes not very helpful. And also you have to get those warps from drops, whereas in Majora's Mask, all you need is either a stick or a sword, and you need to happen upon the owl statue. So if you go to the places, then you've got what you need. Oh, and Deku sticks. Right. We have to talk about the fact that in Majora's Mask, Deku sticks are actually fairly easy to come by. And also you get the transformation, so you have melee attack opportunities. Gratafi remembers, I'm sure, that ill-fated Ocarina of Time rando we did. I think it was the first one that we did, where we never found the Kokiri sword. We never ever found it. Well, Alex, can't you just kill Deku scrubs to get sticks? Yeah. How do you kill a Deku scrub when you don't have a sword? You can kill them with bombs and kill them with, Din's fire, but then they do the shriveling up death. And the shriveling up death gives you the Deku sticks. You need to cut them at the base to give you a stick. How do you cut them? How do you cut them if you don't have the sword, though? That's the problem, though. With no sword, you can't cut them. So that is like a significant thing that Majora's Mask has over Ocarina of Time, in that at least you can get those goddamn sticks, and it's not as much of a challenge or a struggle. I'm hoping that ModLoader, and maybe they've already done this, I'm hoping that ModLoader adds more abilities to get Deku sticks. I think they might have already done that, because I remember we played a OOT rando a year and a half or 2 years ago, and I somersaulted into a tree, and the tree dropped a stick. And I was like, that's a very Animal Crossing thing that I don't remember from this game. And I theorized that I think that's the thing the devs added in because they recognized the bullshit that you're faced with otherwise. That was a wild time. Yeah, that was ridiculous. It was still fun. Like, the frustration is part of the experience of the MM rando. Or Zelda randomizer. I mean, really, all these frustrations can be levied towards Link to the Past randomizer, Link's Awakening randomizer. I mean, every randomizer, you're gonna have some point where you go, oh, fuck, what's the last thing I need to check? Or what's the one thing I've forgotten about? Because I'm stonewalled here. Like, there's something I'm missing. What have I not considered? It happens every time. That's part of the joy and sorrow of it. Resist magic, fortify illusion. I like this one a little bit better, actually. We found the crown. To Umbacano we shall venture. Yeah, JD's back. That's right. Yeah, JD, I was name dropping you earlier, man. I'm telling Kurtafi how JD, you've been doing such a good job carrying my scrawny little ass through our MM rando we've been in, Majora's Mask rando. Kurtafi just rated us, and we're talking shop about Majora's Mask randomizer, and how JD's doing an excellent job of dragging my scrawny ass through the game, because I like to think I've been helpful like early on, but like after a certain point, JD found a lot of very helpful things. So then I spend my time getting caught up and picking up the things JD found so that I can do dungeons and whatnot. Nice walking cycle, by the way. Kind of surprised it loaded into the faraway walking cycle. Yeah, look at that animation. Quality animation. AAA game developer, by the way. I like your animation. Block skill increased. Now if I leave, will he follow? Still stuck, huh? Alright, well, let's put him out of his misery. Usually when they're in this animation, it's because they are far away. There we go. We busted him out of it. Usually when they're in that weird animation cycle, it's because they're far away. And when you get closer, it fixes itself. Oh my god, we made it worse. I thought we fixed you! I can fix him. I don't know if I can fix him, actually. What if I steal your bow? So I guess when we... Oh, don't... Oh, he fucking knocked me back. Are you kidding me? Ridiculous. Now I gotta catch up to this motherfucker. Thankfully, he's not a zombie. He is undead, but he's not a zombie, so he does not have health regen. With what zombies do in this game. Yeah, usually that's like a thing that you'll see where to minimize, you know, overhead, the game will have... will give entities a simplified walking animation, just simplified animations in general when they're farther away. And then we get closer, it switches to the more detailed animation, so it's, you know, the player doesn't notice it as well. We're playing on PC, so we have a, you know, bigger draw distance than we would typically on console. However, I guess sometimes it goofs up, and it gives them the faraway walk cycle animation things when they're right up close. It must have been like because we entered through the door. Oh, entered through the door in like a weird way or something. For whatever reason, it got weird. Let's see, let's go this way. Hope the doggy's going well, Mr. JD. JG. Jet dive. That's jet give. Jet give. That's the alter ego. Yeah, we gotta keep that secret. We can't let that get out, man. Could we have misread the logic? I don't know. I mean, I don't think we did anything wrong. I think this has just been a tough one, honestly. I'll be curious. Yeah, I wonder if people have hit the same stumbling blocks we've had. Because I'm assuming that there's people in Kurtafi's community that are like us, like they don't do Majora's Mask Rando too often. And then there's the ones like Kurtafi who are much more well-versed. Hold on, I want to see this person be weird again. Yes, stand back up. There we go. Beautiful. There he is. Ouch. I'm amazed they're able to knock me back so well. This is a skeleton champion. I guess the enemies maybe still level. Because we've been leveling our agility, which is supposed to make it so that we're less likely to get knocked back from hits and whatnot. But I'm still getting knocked back all the time. So I think it's because we haven't seen anything higher than a skeleton champion. At least not too often. But stuck in the wall. But the ones we do see, I think, are still leveling up or something. Because I think they're matching us. Thank you for running. Well, no, thanks for putting it together, Kurtafi. I think it's admirable that you run the show with these tournaments, because I'm sure it's a lot to manage. And the spreadsheet, like, I mean, I'm sure that took a long time to put together. And it's, again, so freaking helpful, man. That thing is indispensable. I would be, if you can believe it, I would be 300% more useless than I am now in that game. were I to not have that awesome spreadsheet on my person in a given moment. Super goo, and then there's goobit. Yes, we're gonna Gify every person's screen name. Gritafi, we're gonna Gify your name somehow, even though it already has a G. Then JD's will be Get Dive. How's that sound? He was gonna retire. Oh gosh, he was yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, he was clutching a frame photo of his skeleton kids, and his skeleton wife, and his skeleton dog. The skeleton dog from Luigi's Mansion, maybe. Luigi's Mansion 3. That is getting some use. Yeah, like I said, I don't think I'd be able to do a rando again without it, honestly. Torch away. Bloop. So now we take the crown. Actually, who do we take the crown to, for that matter? Oh. What? Why is it pointing me here? Oh, it's not pointing me here. It's pointing me here? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. For some reason, the pointer outer, the red arrow thing was pointing me the wrong way. If Luigi has Gooigi, what would my form be? Gooobit? Super Gooper Hobbit. It would have to be Gooper Hobbit, clearly. It'd have to be Gooper Hobbit. It would be... Let's see. Gooigi is green. Because, you know, Luigi is a green flavored lad. My favorite color is blue. So, actually, yeah, it'd be like the color of my hoodie. It's this blue hoodie I'm wearing.
Good to see you again, sir.
So it'd be blue, and
Shall I
everything
escort
would be
you
goo
upstairs to see
except
my
the
master?
beard. The beard would still be beardy. The beard would still be like hair follicles. Everything else would be goo. Gooper Hobbit. I'm actually pretty happy about that one. My finger would be Slime Finger. Slime Finger. I gave her the old Slime Finger and she did not call me back. Umbacano, I got stuff for you, buddy. Let's sit down and chat. Have ourselves a chit chat.
Yes, my treasure hunting friend. What can I do for you? Have you brought me the crown of the Ayleids?
Mm-hmm. Nobody tell him we got a different crown. He won't tell the difference, probably.
Interesting. These markings are unexpected. The royal glyph is not as described by Sorkalin. But no matter. This is clearly authentic Ayleid workmanship. Later ages have never seen the like. To think that I hold the very crown that once graced the brow of the last Ayleid king. Even to gaze upon it would have been death to any one of the lesser races in the old days. I thank you again for your efforts. I have one final task for you, if you are still willing to face danger on my behalf.
I'm listening.
In order to bring my research on the last king of the Ayleids to its final stage, I need to go to the throne room of Nenalata. While I am not without means of defending myself, I believe you would be an invaluable companion on such an expedition. Your reward will be whatever plunder you wish to carry off from Nenalata. Since the throne room has been sealed since the time of the Ayleids, it should provide rich pickings.
Rich dickings. I'll see you there.
Very well. 3 days then. Don't be late.
Oh, we have a due date.
Alessia Cara visits her mother in Coral regularly.
Yeah, we've heard that one before. Is there anything else about... Yeah, not that one. The lady that we talked to previously. I kind of want to talk to her about this first. I wonder if she will have thoughts about him wanting to go to the throne room, because again, we gave him the wrong crown. If he's trying to complete a seance to summon something, he's gonna be disappointed when it doesn't work. Sky blue, excellent. A dog with a human head, excellent. Those are all solid options, honestly. Seaman, yeah. Would you be voiced by Leonard Nimoy? The admittedly late but great Leonard Nimoy. Yeah, Herminia. Herminia Siena. Yeah, I think he said meet him there in 3 days. So 434, the morning of 437, really, is what we need to be there. So we can do other stuff in the meantime. Do we know where this is going to be, by the way? Be at Nenalata itself. Which is... Oh, actually it's pretty close to some of the other areas we've been to. It's a pretty cool quest. Oh, wait until Monday? Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll get back to you about Friday, JD, because I'm not sure about Friday. Saturday is a maybe. Sunday is a probably not. I'll probably be busy most of the day Sunday. But yeah, I'll get back to you about Friday and possibly or possibly Saturday. But yeah, if nothing else, Monday is a reasonable fallback. Ritual might backfire upon him. Yeah, I mean, if we were worried that we were gonna summon in something horrible per what's her face's recommendation, then yeah, I think we made the right choice. But yeah, I'll be curious to see how it all goes down. 5 spellings of Ayleid. Yeah, I would have to cheat and look it up myself. Dan Green. I'll confess, I don't think I know that name off the top of my head. Does he voice any characters I might know, JD? By the way, here we are back in the Imperial City, and I still never did pay that one Khajiit dude back. I'm sure we'll see him at some point, and he'll, you know, demand payment when we next see him. We have time to kill in the meantime, rather. So what I'm thinking then is we could indeed start the whole Thundercliff Watch situation. The downside, though, is again, if this has like a timeliness to it, then I'm a little bit worried about overextending myself. Maybe we could instead do some other things. For instance, I have a Mage's Guild staff that I need to pick up. So let's go over to the university. Again, I need to remember, it is 437, if that's how days work at least. 3 days from now is where we're meeting the dude. 437, the morning, is when we need to be there, so... Arcane University, we have a staff to pick up, and probably quests to gather, if I had to guess. I could also stand to sell some things. Oh, from Yu-Gi-Oh! And also Knuckles and... Oh, excellent, excellent. What kind of voice would you have him do, Jet Dive? Would it be like a combination of Yugi and also Knuckles? The only downside is he would be unable to chuckle, which would be a shame.
What's the news from the other parts of Tamriel?
They say...
Oh, this place. Well, yeah, I'll go in here as well. This place is really cool. Is there anything else new that would happen from here, or is this like a one-time thing? Oh. Swap your current power for a new one. Sure. Master... What was it called? So it's like a different power that rotates. The only thing that would make this place cooler is if it had the Astral Observatory theme from Majora's Mask. Probably my favorite song in that game soundtrack is the Astral Observatory. I'm curious about that spell. Actually, hold on. Give me 1 sec. I need to perform a science experiment. I need everyone to stay completely still. Stay perfectly still. I need complete silence for this magic trick to work. Because if I do it improperly, several people will die. Do I not have it? Hold on. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, that's on here. Oh, it's not there though. Okay, well I don't have like the most authentic version. Actually, here, I'll just do it this way. Look at me overthinking things. There we go. So now we get to experience this the way Todd Howard was too afraid to let us experience it. Isn't that nice? I think it's pretty fitting, actually. The milk bar, too? Well, I don't know if I remember the milk bar, unless you're saying it's the same music in the milk bar as well. Does breathing count as staying perfectly still? Fiverr says, asking for my sore lungs. Oh, that's cool, JD. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'd love to see it if you were comfortable sharing. That sounds fun. So let's see. Yeah, so what was the thing we just got? We got a new power. It was Massar's something something. Unless it's on here. Was it, they called it a power. But I don't see it on here. Oh, I know why. It's in a separate section. Here it is. So drain strength on... oh, for fortify speed. It's lame. Maser's alacrity. Maser, you're a fucking dingus. So it's a different track, but it's... I would probably know it if I heard it. I can't recognize it off the top of my head. One of the many reasons I like this song in this game soundtrack and Majora's Mask soundtrack so much is that it's so simple. I tend to be kind of a snob when it comes to a lot of music. I tend to like weird and complex stuff that's, you know, I tend to pretend that me liking smart music makes me smart when it doesn't, obviously. I'm mostly joking, mostly. But, I tend to like kind of be drawn towards the more complex, more involved stuff. But you know, sometimes you can do a lot with a little. And that's all you need. And I think that's where this track shines. It's a real simple loop. Lets the chord progression do most of the heavy lifting, and it just doesn't get in the way of itself. It's like, you know what? I'll do what we need to do. Anyway, so, good stuff. What's that? Western RPG music. The problem that I have, well, and this is not to speak ill of this game's soundtrack. This game's soundtrack is nice, but it is fantasy video game soundtrack. And we've all heard fantasy video game soundtrack how many times? I mean, it depends on if you've played Baldur's Gate, Diablo, Divine Divinity. You know, let's be honest, every Western RPG has the same kind of soundtrack. Orchestral stuff, sometimes classical guitars, sometimes minstrelly Renaissance sounding music, but usually it's stuff like this. And I like stuff like this, it's nice, but it is kind of samey. And you know, I love Morrowind, same shit though. It is the same archetype of fantasy video game music. So it feels kind of samey after a while. Yeah, Fiverr says the Zelda stuff is fine by me. Yeah, I like this game's soundtrack, but I would not disagree. Lustratorium. Yes, I would like to get some lust, please. Yeah, the music is the same. Yeah, in this game, yeah, absolutely. Now, granted, in like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, they also have repeated battle themes, obviously. Your hair is shiny.
A pleasure to speak with you.
I guess I don't have a quest with her.
What can I interest you in?
She is a alchemist.
Not only has necromancy been banned from practice in the Mages Guild.
Yeah, we've heard that line 1,000 times.
If you come across any unusual...
Oh, yes, I would like to purchase one lust. Thank you, lady. What's up, Idea Wizard?
Bring them here.
She says, give me the weird shit, fam. I need the weird shit. This game's soundtrack works, and it's fine. I am obviously partial to Morrowind's soundtrack because I'm a Morrowind fanboy, but it is objectively similar. It's the same composer for one thing, and it evokes thoughts of whimsicalness and adventure and magic and otherworldliness. Kinda, I think it does a suitable job in this game. I, in a very biased sense, think it does a better job in Morrowind, but it's fine in this one.
Things
So
in the guild have been different.
it does what it needs to do. I like it more than this game. I like this game's soundtrack more than most other Western RPGs that I've played, which do feel absolutely samey.
Can I help you?
Oh, you misspelled on the form, Fivinger? That's happened to me too many times to count.
It's all finished. It's in that cupboard back in the corner. I hope it serves you well. The Mages Guild has made more than a few enemies.
Necromancy ban, blah blah blah. Anyway, enough talk. How about you? Enough talk. Where's our cool new toy? Okay, I'm gonna steal these for a science experiment.
Then I didn't.
Bye.
You too.
Said cupboard. Ultra of
Greetings,
enchanting.
apprentice.
That's me. I'm an apprentice. This one. Me. That's mine. Silence for 15 seconds. That's actually pretty nice. I'm pretty happy about that. An electric shell tome. I don't think we have that.
Hello, apprentice.
We have our very own wizard staff. Mage's staff. Now we're a true mage, which is pretty cool. Now, granted, will I use the staff very often? No, I will not, but it means we're a real wizard. We're a real mage. A real gamer.
It's my pleasure. If you're looking to create your own enchantment...
Yeah, enchantments and whatnot. Very good.
Bye.
So now we can enchant things with soul gems and added items, that kind of thing. We can imbue specific effects. Mysticism went up. Very good. We like the mysticism going up. Mysticism's skill go burr. Whoops. Neverwinter Nights 2 has some cool ones. Oh, Mask of the Betrayer. Man, I feel a little bad. I never finished Neverwinter Nights 2. Because a friend of mine, Yaxi, who pops in from time to time, we played a bunch of Neverwinter Nights 2, the base game, and I think we got pretty far in, but never beat it. And at his suggestion, and the game is very good, but at his suggestion, he recommended we get through that game, the base game, because apparently Mask of the Betrayer is something really special, like really fucking good. So I'm kind of curious. I'll select an item to enchant. Oh, I don't have... Right, my claymore is already enchanted. So, as in... Let's see what we would do. Okay. I'm not gonna actually make it happen, but... We would say, like... Yeah, fortify health. Constant effect. Does it say how much, though? There's my... Oh, so it would cost this much. I just want to like do a fortify skill, yes. Armorer, fortify armorer. For 10 points, makes it cost 1,000. You only get the one effect. Guess it's based on the soul gem rating. Okay. Well, good to know that that's here for us. One thing I also want to do while I'm here is also get my cool new armor. We have the armor of the champion or what have you. For beating the main game. We should scoop that up while we're in the area. Mask of the Betrayer. Yeah, because yeah, you know Corey and like Britain, those guys, those are the ones that recommended that I play it. So yeah, at some point it'd be nice to go back and play through that game proper. Because it was very good. I liked the base game a lot, but apparently Mask of the Betrayer is like astoundingly good. Which makes me very excited. This is like a guard tower. I don't want to be here. Guard tower, that's for nerds. I'm too cool for that place. Yeah, I need to get the dragon armor. That's right. Made with real dragons.
Greetings.
He said, I just wanted to get myself inflamed.
Half of the Council of Mages.
Resign when Louis further. Yeah, okay.
Take care.
I know she said take care. It sounded like she said dickhead, which would not be an invalid thing to call me. Still love how they just let you steal things. Because we're part of the guild, so it's okay.
Greetings, guildmate.
We apparently had missed some other, like, cool books because there was one we just read that increased our mysticism, so I'm wondering if there's others that have slipped by me that I should use to feed my brain. I just open up my skull and I just cram the book in there. There were times where that's how college felt, cramming for an exam. There were times where that's how it felt. Like I was trying to jam it all in there. Has some rough pacing though. Some arcs take a little while. It is a long game. And I think that was the main issue, is that not that I like got sick of it and I was like, fuck this, I want to do other stuff. We played other games too, and we just never got around to finishing it. So it just kind of fell by the wayside over time.
Hello. Well met.
Encounters sometimes have too many enemies. Interesting, yeah.
Things in the guild have been different since Traven was named Archmage.
I mean, when it comes to games kind of from that era, it could be, you know, I can forgive it, obviously.
Don't have time to talk right.
Don't have time to talk right now.
Good day.
Because, yeah, it's an older game, and yeah, sometimes games from that era were known for being a little bit bullshitty and a little bit, you know, overly rough with encounters being put together, that kind of thing. I think what I would probably be more apt to playing rather, I mean, going back for Neverwinter Nights 2 would be good, but I think I would be more apt when it comes to Western RPGs. I think I would kind of be more down to try Baldur's Gate, because I've mentioned before on many occasions that one of the main things I loved about Diablo 1 so much is that you have to be careful in that game. It's a slow-paced game. Diablo 2 is kind of a screen-clearing game. You know, you walk in, you fire a couple spells off, you use some abilities, you're killing bad guys by the swaths. That's a word. Swathing them. You swath them to death. I don't know. You're killing lots of bad guys. You're clearing rooms. You're getting lots of gear. It's fun and it's cool. But the downside is that like, you know, Path of Exile, Diablo 3, it was like, let's do that but more. Whereas Diablo 1 was like scary and dangerous, and you had to play smart. And I've mentioned that on a few occasions. I've had a few friends tap me on the shoulder, be like, Alex, motherfucking Baldur's Gate, what are you doing? Get your shit together and play that. So I think that would be higher on my list personally.
I have a new task for you.
3.5th edition. Yeah, for Neverwinter Nights 2, which is the first, which is what I started with, rather. That was my first D&D edition. So I'm partial to that particular era. Play with friends, exactly. Because, yeah, we played Icewind Dale, which is a spin-off from Baldur's Gate. We played Icewind Dale with that group, with Corey and Britt, and I think Brad. So it was a foursome. Actually, John might have been there too. I can't remember, but it was a good group of us, which was good because, yeah, that helped us kind of split the load a little bit. Because Icewind Dale I thought it was a very tough game. We beat it. It was a very challenging game. The base game, the expansion we didn't really jive with as much. That one wasn't as good. Didn't feel as good. But the base game was superb. Worthy of a playthrough? Yeah, that's the thing. Everyone loves it. Good parts of the base game, and yeah, Mask of the Betrayer. That's the thing. If you can beat it, your reward is Mask of the Betrayer, which is apparently just the coolest shit ever.
In accordance with guild rules, you now qualify for the rank of journeyman. May you
want to try other classes? Well, you control like a bunch of party members, don't you? At least I'm assuming that's how it works, because that's how Icewind Dale was. You control like 4 to 6 or something.
The council is investigating what happened at Wellspring Cave. Many of our resources are devoted to the task, leaving our ranks spread thin. There is a related book that needs to be recovered. It was recently loaned to Janice Hasseldor, the Count of Skingrad. I'd like you to retrieve it. I understand this may not seem the most important of tasks, but still, it needs doing, and you are one of the few available to do it. A note of caution. Skingrad is an unusual place. Be prepared for the unexpected.
A few things. So I'm a little bit bummed that this guy's name is pronounced Hasseldor. I was hoping it would be Hasseldor, so I could be like, Hasseldor! Throw the ring into the volcano! So that he could look at me and go, no. Dramatically. And then get fucking murdered, you know, some years later. Anyway, Lord of the Rings reference, basically. The other thing is that yeah, he mentioned, oh, you gotta get this book back from the Count of Skingrad. And then the guy was like, it's a little weird over there, fam, so just FYI. We know exactly why it's weird. The Count of Skingrad is a motherfucking vampire, so that might have something to do with it. Time for bed, Kurtofia? Of course, bud. Of course. Have a good night, buddy. And thank you again to Kurtofia for the nice raid. I'm probably not too far behind you. It is 1 a.m., so we do need to wrap up fairly soon. Let's get a little bit more intel, and I also want to get my cool dragon armor over here.
The Count is a reclusive man, and sometimes difficult to see. Hopefully, your status as a representative of the guild will aid you. Speak with the castle steward when you arrive.
Honestly, we're kind of on a first-name basis with the Count. We did him the solid of fucking out that Oblivion gate that was causing them problems. We've met him on a number of occasions already, so this, I think the implication here is that you could do this before you do the main quest, before you finish the main quest, obviously. So he's expecting us to have never dealt with this lad, whereas we have absolutely dealt with him quite a lot. Far from it.
The city lies southwest of the Imperial City. The castle overlooks the city from a steep hill. You should have no trouble finding it.
Also, you go to Skingrad fairly early in the main quest. So I'm a little bit surprised he's like, oh, well, no, actually, Skingrad, I think, even has a mages guild. So, yeah, we would have had to have gone there for him to give us this quest. So that's a little weird.
I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
All of Cyrodiil, he says. Fortify Magicka. You know, actually, this is pretty good. Pack Mule, yeah, that would be helpful for when we're getting got by burden spells and drain strength. What's up, Neptune? Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Let's go for... Actually, yeah, we can't cast that one. Nor would we need it. The only reason I would get a higher order life detection spell is so it would help us raise our mysticism skill more. So that's not really helpful. Like, I don't really see much personal benefit in constantly casting it, other than raising the skill. So it's kind of a gamification, if you will. This is the wrong way. Good job, Alex. Good job. Let's go out this way. Actually, I wanted to leave. How the fuck do I get out? You just go through this gate. Even though it opens it up to the plebeians who can now get in with this opened gate. The plebs. Let's get our cool dragon armor. I think we're going to Chancellor Okato. Counselor Okato. Yeah, I might as well nab it. Drunken Disorderly, that's the one. It would be a little bit further down then. Yes, I thought there was a quest entry for it. Maybe, oh, you know, maybe it is further up then. Arrow of Extrication. Oh, that's for the Thieves Guild. Right. Right. That is familiar. Okay. So this is Dark Brotherhood. This is still Thieves Guild. Here it is. Here it is. It is. Oh wait, hold on. What did it say? The Legion Compound. Okay, let's check the map then. This way. To the prison we go then. Something big for your... Oh, that's exciting, Nepsit. Well, I hope it goes well, bud. You're more than welcome to, you know, share what it is if you're comfortable, but, you know, I don't want to be sticking my nose in business where it doesn't belong, so it's up to you, obviously, but I do hope that this goes well for you, bud. That sounds exciting. Back where it all started, 500, that's right. This was, our humble beginnings were inside these cells, and then we busted out, I want to say, I think it was this one right here, because, yeah, it was right in front of this Ayleid ruin, so... Back where it all started, but now we emerge as a champion. Not as a chump, punk-ass prisoner, but as a badass. Now, we got some cool armor, but I can already tell it's heavy armor, and we have no business using heavy armor. It's very valuable. It's very cool. I can pick it up from the armory. I received it. But I think I'm just going to leave it here, honestly. Like, I don't really see myself using this. We're a light armor lad through and through. Resist magic, though. Ooh, okay. You drive a hard... Oh, wait, hold on, hold on. Light armor. Okay. That changes everything. Ignore every word I just said. I'm a fucking idiot. It's apparently all light armor. It is light armor. That's great. It looked like it was heavy. It's all light armor. That's crazy. Well, what's better? Let's kind of go piece by piece here. This one, like the helmet is better, so I should not use this. The greaves resist fire. Resist fire is not going to do us any good. Now, granted, our greaves aren't that exciting, but well, no, spell absorption is actually quite good, and the armor is of equal value. Gauntlets resist poison. That's not very good. This is like good for, you know, fairly early, you know, base game kind of stuff, but we've gotten much better stuff. Now, armor-wise, it's horrible, but the bonuses they give are quite valuable. Cuirass resist magic. I already know where this is going because we have a truly unique and just better in every way cuirass. Well, at least the armor rating is identical, but yeah, the resist magic is better. The boots resist frost. I think that might be the one thing where they got us. I think our boots are mundane right now. Oh, they are not. Well, they're kind of fucked right now. Yeah, fortified blade though. Fortified blade or what's better? Fortified blade or resist frost? I'm gonna say a fortified blade. So yeah, I'm actually gonna use none of this. I'll probably just end up selling it. Oh, that's nice, 5 fingers. So it is not hard coded for being heavy or light. That's actually kind of nice. I bet it looks cool though. Now, let's see how we look. This cool setup. Yeah, we look so cool. We look like a true champion, a true sad purple champion. But yeah, no, I think our previous gear is the better choice. It got the belt buckle. Dope AF. It looks great, yeah. We're just gonna end up selling most of it, honestly. If we could do Stoats, that'd be cool. Yeah, if there was a disenchanting option. Disenchantment. We have my curiosity. Oh, this is the... In my mind, I was like, let me just go to the Mages Guild. We're here in the Mages Guild. Yeah, the Mages Guild and the Arcane University and the prison look identical, which is ridiculous. For now, I will go back to our previous stuff. But yeah, that's a good point though, Dan. If we could perhaps, or chance, switch things out. Switch out enchantments and whatnot. That probably would be the proper choice. Now, of course, a bunch of my stuff is very damaged, very broken. There's an easy way to fix that, though. Claymore of Winter. Oh, it got disintegrated earlier. I was like, man, that thing got hurt. Who hurt them? Going to sleep early, and now it is 1 a.m. Oh, eating string cheese BDR. That's a solid snack, honestly. A job and a good place to live. Nepson, yo, that's good, dude. That's good. That's what we'd love to hear, bud. Congratulations to you, my friend. Of course, I understand how these things go. Sometimes it takes a while to solidify plans, but still, that sounds very encouraging. So, all good stuff, man. All good stuff. All right. Well, we have several things. The Countess Skingrad is something to do. We have another Ayleid Ruin to go on 437, so we got a day and a half to go. And then what we'll probably do next time is we have like several side quests that we've recently scooped up, but I think what I would have us do is put us closer to the Dark Brotherhood quests, which really would involve us going to Sundercliff Watch. Sundercliff Watch is not too far from Leafrot Cave. So I think next time we will dedicate at least the beginning of the stream to checking out Sundercliff Watch. I have no idea what it entails. Again, I suspect it will be a big effort because it talks about how the ruins of Sundercliff Watch are above an ancient city. I'm expecting us to get into that ancient city, and that it'll probably be not just a single one and done dungeon, but several things. So we'll cross the bridge when we get there.